7. I don't even see him. Oh, yeah, Suzinski, defenseman.
You have room back here for one more spot?
Yeah, hold on.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work.
Minot is now open. Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability.
Pizza. 4 systems go for lunch. Frequent supper times a crunch. T-minus now is...
Nothing brings people together quite like a football game. As the summer months come to an end, at First Western Bank and Trust, we look forward to supporting our local football teams. Those Friday night lights, cheering on the...
This presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Chiropractic, Clean...
With 28 on the shot clock, 53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson, the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3. On low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date.
Hi, this is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Nothing brings people together quite like a football game. As the summer months come to an end, at First Western Bank and Trust, we look forward to supporting our local football teams. Those Friday night lights, cheering on the players, and watching the game with friends and family, that's what fall is all about. As teamwork and perseverance drives each team to achieving their goals, we all wish players safety and the best of luck on the field this year. We'll be cheering you on. At First Western Bank and Trust, we aren't just here for you, we are you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We welcome you to Mesa Arena and the Pepsi Rink for live coverage of Minot State University Beaver Hockey this afternoon on Pro Style Productions. Ryan Cunningham with you today, filling in for Nick Holberg. Glad to have you with us here this afternoon as we are back and ready to go with college hockey as Minot State and the University of Jamestown will play the back end of a home-and-home weekend with Minot State and UJ skating to a 1-1 draw and the Beavers winning in an overtime shootout last night down in Jamestown. Ryan Cunningham with you here today, and I'm glad to be with you here today as a special guest in Minot. Again, the circumstances have changed quite a bit with the crowd being limited today due to coronavirus to only 200. We welcome all of you tuning in on Pro Style Productions, keeping up with your favorite team this afternoon while unable to be here at Mesa Arena, the beautiful arena that's been put together that has housed this team and the Minot Minotaurals, and the Minotaurals will play coming up with the St. Cloud Norsemen in the back end of a hockey doubleheader this afternoon here at Mesa Arena. That one will have a little bit bigger crowd. This one's been limited to only 200 people today, and obviously that's led to a lot of people wondering what happened, and there were some changes that took place very recently that will kind of limit the crowd here today. Talking earlier today with the head coach of Minot State University Hockey, Wade Regier, he told us that it was unfortunate. He was hearing from a lot of people that wanted to be here, and unfortunately just not going to be the case, but we're glad to be able to be your voice for this one today as UJ comes to town to take on the Beavers. And after last night's finish, it should be a very intense matchup. They skate to a 1-1 draw last night in Jamestown. That game was dominated by Minot State in all facets except for the scoreboard. And when we say that, what we mean is that Minot State outshot Jamestown by a 52-21 margin, and that included 18-3 in the final period yesterday, but they could only squeak one goal through. Each team scored in the third period to settle that 1-1 after 60. They went into the overtime shootout, and in the shootout, Minot State tallied twice. The University of Jamestown tallied once. The Beavers get the overall win, but officially a draw on the scoreboard, and that brings the Beavers home today with a record of 2-0-1-1, 2 wins, no losses, a draw, and a win in a shootout. They had wins, of course, to start the season over Williston State. The University of Jamestown has played 4 times, and they're still looking for their first victory. They played at the University of Mary, drew 4-4 in a weekend series with Iowa State a couple of weekends ago. They were beaten 3-2 and drew 2-2. And then, of course, the draw last night with the Beavers at 1-1. So Jamestown comes to the arena today with a record of 0-1-2. and a very interesting a record to come into, to say the least. But let me make a correction. It's 0-1-3-0 for Jamestown coming in today, and obviously it's an interesting circumstance looking for their first victory, even though they've played very well throughout the course of the season. Our pregame report today is brought to you by Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza has been proudly serving the Magic City for over 20 years. Call them now at 701-852-1700 and try their Blue Buffalo Pizza or their chicken wings. You won't be disappointed. Planet Pizza is out of this world. We do have a crowd that is going to be allowed to be here today, funneling through. In fact, some of them have been here for quite some time. Mesa Arena is set for a big weekend, and the production is in full force. And I haven't personally seen this building for a few years. The last time that I was here was as a guest of the Minotaurs to watch a game, and as the former broadcaster of the Bobcats, I was here once or twice or a few times to broadcast as well. But over in the old building, those of you that are Minot State University hockey fans, you have a wonderful treat here in the Magic City. Just getting a look at the arena that you have. It's a beautiful place, and unfortunately it'll be seen by only 200 people today. But for those of you joining us on PSP, we're glad to have you with us today. And PSP has been very busy today. Scott Cattell has been out for a broadcast in high school football playoff action between Surrey and Linton, Hazleton, Moffett, Braddock. So we'll give you an update on that game as we have a number of scores that will be coming in from high school football from around North Dakota. We'll take care of that on our first International Bank and Trust scoreboard coming up throughout our pregame report. Many of you are watching the high school football scoreboard as well in North Dakota, and so we'll catch you up on what's happening there as teams are moving from the first round at the 1A and 9-man level into the quarterfinals to get going again coming up next week with the round of 8 for those two levels of football. And our starting lineups in hockey scheduled for a 4 o'clock puck drop this afternoon here at Mesa Arena in Minot. We're glad you joined us. Thank you for being with us here today. It's Minot State, a record of 2-0-1-1, and the University of Jamestown 0-3-1-0 here today at Pepsi Rink at Mesa Arena in Minot. We'll continue with our Planet Pizza pregame report in just a couple of moments. You're viewing Beaver Hockey on PSP.
Hi, this is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
Planet Pizza. 4 systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun. There's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza.
Nothing brings people together quite like a football game. As the summer months come to an end, at First Western Bank and Trust, we look forward to supporting our local football teams. Those Friday night lights, cheering on the players, and watching the game with friends and family, that's what fall is all about. As teamwork and perseverance drives each team to achieving their goals, we all wish players safety and the best of luck on the field this year. We'll be cheering you on. At First Western Bank and Trust, we aren't just here for you, we are you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Chiropractic, Clean Tech, Premier Movement, Tires Plus, 28 Tastes and Taps, Beaupre Law Firm, Homesteaders, Subway, First Western Bank and Trust, Arbo Photography, North Country Sportswear, 701 Realty, and Pro Style Production DJ Services.
With 28 on the shot clock, 53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3 on low. She scores.
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter @NetworkPSP and on Facebook @The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
Welcome back to Minot State University Beaver Hockey on Pro Style Productions PSP. Ryan Cunningham with you this afternoon from Mesa Arena in the Pepsi Rink, where we're set for a showdown to finish up the back half of a home-and-home weekend between Minot State and the University of Jamestown. Jamestown and Minot State skating to a 1-1 draw last night. Minot State winning in the shootout. Our pregame report continues, and our pregame report today is brought to you by Planet Pizza. They've been proudly serving the Magic City for over 20 years. Call them now at 701-852-1700. Try their Blue Buffalo Pizza or their chicken wings. You won't be disappointed. Planet Pizza is out of this world. Let's continue our pregame report with a rundown of our First International Bank and Trust scoreboard with high school football going on around North Dakota today. Some games in the western part of the state and from the local area that are worth highlighting as we move into our pregame show today. Right now, 2:50 left to go in the third quarter. Minot Bishop Ryan with a 32-12 lead over Kildare. Kildare has cut that lead from 32-6 to 32-12 late in the third quarter, but Minot Ryan trying to roll on to the round of 8 today. Also in the playoffs at the 1A level, number 2 Oaks leading number 3 Carrington 35-0. That's after 3 quarters of play. That's going on down in Oaks today. 9-man football, Mayport CG with a 36-22 lead over North Prairie. Surrey leading Linton HMB. Reverse that. That's Linton HMB leading Surrey by a score of 8-6. They're at the end of the third quarter in that matchup. We'll keep you up to date on that. You can also find that on Pro Style Productions. Scott Cattell has the call from Surrey in that matchup. By the way, a side note in that one, Linton HMB a little late getting to Surrey today. The reason? They were on their way from Linton and lost the trailer of their equipment trailer off of their bus. It ended up rolling into a ditch. They had to salvage the equipment out of it, pack it into the bus, and then continue the trip. And somehow they got that done. So kind of a tough start to their day, and now they're currently with a 2-point lead over Surrey, but a low-scoring game. And again, that one is also on Pro Style Productions today. Also at the Class A level down in Bismarck, Shiloh Christian leads Kenmare by a score of 14-0. In the 9-man playoffs, Grant County Flasher has a 16-14 lead over Towner Granville Upham. That game is currently at halftime. And those are the scores that we have to pass along to you here in the pregame report. One more we can pass along to you as well at halftime. Lisbon leading Harvey Wells County by a score of 22-8. That's at the 1A level of football as well. And that's a look at our scoreboard brought to you by First International Bank and Trust. We continue along here today at Minot State. Minot State, the Beavers at home with a couple of wins on their season over Williston State. They did win last night, but it was in a shootout as they knocked off the University of Jamestown down in Jamestown by a final score of 1-1 in a draw. They win the shootout 2-1, you can say. 2 tallies in the shootout for Minot State, 1 for Jamestown. And this Jamestown team that comes in today has skated extremely well throughout the course of the year, but not credited with a win as of yet. A draw 4-4 with the University of Mary, a loss and a draw to Iowa State 3-2 and 2-2, and then of course the draw last night. So out of 4 games they've had 3 draws and a loss, and you know that that's something that's going to weigh very heavily on Dean Stork's mind, the head coach of the University of Jamestown, who's just made his way into the arena on the far side of the ice. Both teams came out for their warm-ups earlier. We understand there's a good rivalry between these teams, and we should have a very, very good set of circumstances today and a good rivalry game for the sparse crowd that will be in attendance here at Mesa Arena. 200 on hand for it today. I'm sure we'll sell it out. It's Minot State, the University of Jamestown. Beaver hockey continues on PSP in just a couple of moments. Do stay with us.
Hi, this is Kevin Biggestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. 1st International Bank and Trust, live first.
Nothing brings people together quite like a football game. As the summer months come to an end, at First Western Bank and Trust, we look forward to supporting our local football teams. Those Friday night lights, cheering on the players, and watching the game with friends and family, that's what fall is all about. As teamwork and perseverance drives each team to achieving their goals, we all wish players safety and the best of luck on the field this year. We'll be cheering you on. At First Western Bank and Trust, we aren't just here for you, we are you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Pizza. Systems go for lunch break when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
This presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Chiropractic, Clean Tech, Premier Movement, Tires Plus, 28 Tastes and Taps, Beaupre Law Firm, Homesteaders, Subway, First Western Bank and Trust, Arbo Photography, North Country Sportswear, 701 Realty, and Pro Style Production DJ Services.
With 28 on the shot clock, 53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3, on low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter @NetworkPSP and on Facebook @The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
Welcome back to Mesa Arena. The starting lineups are being announced for today's matchup between Minot State University and the University of Jamestown. We continue with our Planet Pizza pregame report. Proudly serving the Magic City for over 20 years. Call them now at 701-852-1700 and try their Blue Buffalo Pizza or chicken wings. You won't be disappointed. Planet Pizza is out of this world. Couple of acknowledgments before we get into our national anthem and our starting lineups today. 28 Tastes and Taps is now open. If you're hungry, you'll leave satisfied, guaranteed. A unique menu that will have your mouth watering. Open 7 days a week and located on South 16th Street. 28 Tastes and Taps, a family restaurant that's locally owned. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring you our national anthem here at Mesa Arena this afternoon and Pepsi Rink as Minot State gets ready to host the University of Jamestown. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthems.
Our home and native land, true patriot love, in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard
the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's the most bursting gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the and the
Wonderful renditions of our national anthems for both Canada and the United States this afternoon. And we're set for our starting lineups for today's matchup. They're brought to you by Tires Plus. When shopping for tires, shop Tires Plus. All brands under one roof with the guaranteed lowest prices. And check this out, there's service after the sale with their Tires Plus plan. Simply put, Tires Plus is in a different league. Visit them online at TiresPlusND.com. For the University of Jamestown this afternoon, the starting defenders will be Bo Cornell and Greg Suzinski. The starting forwards are Gage Thompson and Tyler Chavez-Leach. The center is Aiden Potus, and the goalie is Tyson Brower. For Minot State this afternoon, the defenders are Paul O'Connor out of St. Peters, Missouri, a senior, and Eric Soar, a sophomore from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. The starting forwards, Jordan Robertson, a junior from Brandon, Manitoba, and also Davis Sheldon, a junior from Nanton, Alberta. And the starting center for that line will be Justin Metcalf, a junior from Winnipeg, Manitoba. The goalie is Chad Durand, a sophomore from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. And those are your starting lineups brought to you by Tires Plus. Minot State, the University of Jamestown, after a night last night where Minot State outshot UJ by a 52-21 total, but managed only one goal and came away perhaps a little bit disappointed with the result in a 1-1 draw that they eventually picked up an overtime shootout win in. The puck in the University of Jamestown zone in the far right corner, and Carter Barley, the second line coming out for Minot State, trying to get after the puck in the offensive end. Andrew Clark for UJ is back-to-back check along the right wall. He'll send it up the near side boards, looking for some relief, and that puck popped out with Reed Wilson for Jamestown. Quick shot coming out of the high slot for Adam Wowrick, one of the returning performers that put on a lot of points last year for Minot State, and an early stop for Tyson Brower against a puck that was in at nearly point-blank range. We have a couple of numbers changes that we'll have to work through for the University of Jamestown throughout the day here as well. We'll draw in the Minot State zone near circle, and the Beavers will send their third line out with Rhett Locke taking the drop. He does so, and the puck comes back to Dylan Cassie on the right point, who will dump it in towards the near side corner. Locke out of the corner again, trying to reverse down to goal line extended, finding Nick Doyle in the corner. Doyle digging for the puck, losing control in the back check. It ends out far side. Bo Cornell trying to play it out of his zone for UJ. It ends up back behind the net. Knocked into the far corner for Grayson Neufeld. This comes out to the right circle, and a shot blasts wide. Rhett Locke was there, found a dribbler that came out, but it stays in the offensive end for Minot State. A lot of what happened last night. Sharp angled shot off the wall by Neufeld. Another stop for Tyson Brower. And again, we'll draw coming up in the Jimmy zone. 18:26 left of the opening period. On our First International Bank and Trust scoreboard, we are scoreless, but much like last night, we've seen Minot State dominating the action with a puck in the Jamestown zone quite a bit to get started. Both teams will change up. Reed Wilson bringing the second line out for a draw for the University of Jamestown. Puck comes back to the line. Austin Wheeler will dump it in for Minot State, and the Beavers again go back on the cycle. Braden Paluk on the near side wall will dump it back into the near corner. A chase for Connor Schuster. Couldn't quite come out with a puck. This is brought out by Cotter Johnson for UJ. He got it as far as the Minot State line, and then it was cut down there, and Austin Wheeler will turn it back up into the offensive end for Minot State. Cornell behind his net for Jamestown. Sent it back near corner. Connor Schuster finds the puck for Minot State. Reverses up to the near side half wall. Jager Thiessen doing battle to try to maintain control. Now the Jimmies come out with a little 2-on-2 rush. And off the far wall, Carter Johnson. Long range shot from the left side. And ends up knocked aside. Good stop by Chad Duran. Saw it all the way. Not much of a great effort there, but now here come the Jimmies. 2-on-1 and an odd man. Aiden POTUS with a centering pass. And it drifts wide. The pass not quite where Gage Thompson was looking for it. Tyler Chavez Leach was in on the play as well. And the Beavers escape one and come back into the offensive end. Justin Metcalf bringing the first line back on the ice for Minot State. Reverses the puck back to Eric Soar and also to Paul O'Connor. O'Connor on the near side. Eric Soar scored the lone goal last night for the Beavers down in Jamestown. And Soar's back to pick one up for Minot State in his own end. Approaching the 17-minute mark, still scoreless. Minot State's been in the offensive end a lot, but a quick breakout for UJ nearly got him on the board. Offside coming up here against the Beavers. They'll step away from the action, and the puck is brought back out by Jamestown's Jake Huckaluck, who brings the first line back on the ice for the Jimmies. Puck back behind the net again, and back check there by Eric Soar. He'll turn it back out towards the near side wall. Wrestling for it was Robertson. It comes back to the right point for UJ's Dumont. He'll put it up over the crossbar, goes loose into the far corner. A skate after it for the Jimmies, trying to maintain some position back up the ice. Dumont brings it out in the high slot, dumps it back into the right corner, looking for Garrison off that fourth line. Quinn Garrison comes away with it, moves it back out to the near side wall, lost control of the puck. Carter Barley brought it up into the neutral zone. It was then poke-checked off his stick by Dumont and sent back into the Minot State end. Each team will change up. The Jimmies changing up a fresh 5. They'll bring their first line back on the ice. No score. We're at 16 minutes and change to play in the opening period. Still looking for the first damage in this one. This one pushed back up into the University of Jamestown zone. For a moment, it drew Tyson Brower out of the crease. He was looking to play the puck back off the wall. It's out in front. There's a damage there. Metcalf digging for the puck. Comes back to the right point. Picked up there by Dylan Cassie. He'll whistle it in and it goes wide. Johannesson off the near wall for the Beavers. Tried to send one back through traffic. That was batted out. Andrew Clark came out, put a pretty good play on that puck and knocked it back into the neutral zone. And Jake Huckaluck was able to force it further back into the Minot State end. Long range drifting of the puck that comes in on Brower, who's been tested for Jamestown quite a bit today. He's going to freeze it and will draw coming up in the Minot State end. The University of Jamestown end. 15:38 left opening period. The shots are 5-1 in favor of the Beavers. And that lone 2-on-1 rush that happened when the Beavers turned the puck over trying to back check out of their own end is really the lone bit of offense that the University of Jamestown's been able to find. Off the draw, Cassie a drive, and it's kicked aside by Tyson Brower. Brower did not see where that puck was. Johannesson will go back along with Cassie to pick it up off the Minot line. Doyle with a touch back into the University of Jamestown zone. Works back out near side. Carter Johnson got it out to the point. Johannesson drifts one back in. A quick look at it by Brower, who again was screened. Great traffic in front of the net by Minot State. Grayson Neufeld was there for the Beavers, and that screened Brower off it. Brower was just able to find the puck at the very end and deflect it up into the webbing, and will draw once again in the UJ zone. We'll draw in the left circle for Minot State. New to the game, Blake Fournier, last year's captain for Minot State, didn't have a chance to play last night, is back with the Minot State Beavers tonight, and he steps in on the fourth line to take the draw. The puck stays in the offensive end for the Beavers. Connor Schuster back to Fournier in the near side corner. Behind the net, Jager Thiessen trying to drag to the right wall. Ends up back check loose. Andrew Clark knocked it free and brought it back off the near wall for the Jimmies. Johannesson back to the checkered line to pick it up, dumps it back in. Dumont with a look at it as it goes wide. The puck will come off the far side wall and left again in the neutral zone for a 2-on-2. Gage Thompson trying to get to it. Big hit at center ice as a huge hit was put in on Quinn Garrison trying to break out. He got dumped in the neutral zone by the Beavers, and the puck's back in the UJ end. It's picked up off the wall by by Minot State University's number 68, 68. Jordan Robertson came up with a puck. It comes back to Palouk in the Minot State end. Palouk trying to dig off the near side wall, finds Robertson on the Minot State line. Back out to center ice. Davis Sheldon takes a bit of a hit. It looked a little bit worse than it was, but Sheldon's a little slow to get up as well. It was a grazing shot off the hip, but Sheldon's struggling to get over to the bench, and that's going to bring Minot State down a man, it looks like, for the foreseeable future. Austin Wheeler brings it back for Minot State on the left side wall, trying to dig up as far as the Jamestown line. Some pushing and shoving along the boards. The puck ends up squirting free, and Barley goes back into his own going to get it. He got tripped up. Minot State thought they were going to get a penalty, and they will. We're going to see a tripping call coming up as Carter Barley was trying to come to the neutral zone. Looks like this will be a slashing penalty rather than a tripping penalty. And so Minot State will skate with a man advantage, as we'll see a slashing penalty coming up against the University of Jamestown's number 14, and we don't have him on our roster. I think this is one of our numbers changes. Berggren is the man that will go in. He's listed as number 29, but he's actually number 14. Logan Berggren will take the penalty. So Logan Berggren for slashing. The time of the penalty will be at 6 minutes and 7 seconds, and Minot State University is on the power play. Off the right side, it comes back to Eric Soar, left point. Soar will send it back over towards the right for Nick Doyle, trying to crash in. Shot blasts wide. That was Cochran in the high slot. Ends up pushing it into the corner. Soar coming back out towards the left point. The extra forward here is Nick Doyle. He's got it in the high slot. Doyle skates in, tries a wrister. It's knocked down by Brower out in front of the net and quickly cleared by the University of Jamestown. 90 seconds left on the power play. The power play is brought to you in part by Beaupre Law Firm, connected to our community, your estate planning and business law attorneys. And the Beavers back up on the power play rush. A puck left behind. Jake Huckaluck ends up dumping it into the UJ bench. And we'll see a draw coming up in the Jamestown zone with 13:10 left of the opening period and 1:17 remaining on the Minot State power play. Shots are 8-1 in favor of the Beavers at this point. And I believe that would have been 7-1 coming into the power play. Jake Huckaluck will draw for the University of Jamestown. And good to see Davis Shelton for Minot State back on the ice. He was the man that took the hit a couple of moments ago, struggled to get off the ice, but he's back out there. Dylan Cassie takes control of the puck off the draw. It'll be forced down the near side wall by Braden Paluk. Back to two defenders high for Minot State on the power play. The puck works back to Paluk on the left wall. He'll skate back to the neutral zone as they lost some momentum. Cassie on the right side wall. Back to Paluk in the Minot State zone. Up to Sheldon with a little give and go, and he found Metcalf skating into the near side boards. Metcalf a stop in the left circle. Back to Sheldon left point with 50 seconds left in the power play. Cassie, top of the right circle, bounds one on a ground ball that gets through but goes wide. Metcalf trying to pull down the loose change in the corner. This is a turn by Bo Cornell. He'll play it off the glass and a clear that will send it back into the Minot State zone. Cornell will clean it up for the Jimmies. Down to 30 seconds left to go on the Minot State power play. Puck comes out towards the right side boards, and it's brought up by Grayson Neufeld. Now Davis Sheldon up into the offensive end. Back to Paluk, high slot. Cassie left boards. Back to Paluk again high. Puts on a soft wrist shot, deflected wide. Another stop by Tyson Brower. He's been busy. Cassie back to Paluk on the high slot again. He'll work it back over to the right boards. Grayson Neufeld comes off the wall. Back to Paluk with 10 seconds left in the man advantage for the Beavers. Puck off the right boards again for Neufeld. Skating in, narrowing the distance, trying a wrist shot, deflected wide. Cassie, quick chance off the rebound. That one knocked down by Brower. He saw it coming from the near point. Berggren comes out, and now a 2-on-1 rush out of the power play. Berggren centers, quick shot, knocked wide. That shot taken by Carter Johnson. He was in at point-blank range on the 2-on-1 odd man. Very well-timed rush by Berggren coming out of the penalty box, and it turned into the 2-on-1 the Jimmies were looking for, but again, a shot that was offline. Cassie from Minot State trying to play it back up into the neutral zone. He finds Nick Doyle right along the checkered line. Puck loose along the near boards with Doyle giving chase, brought out by Dumont for the University of Jamestown. Plays it through the neutral zone looking for Chavez Leach. Would have been icing, but they'll wave it off at the end. This will be corralled by Paul O'Connor back behind the Minot State net. Beavers, Jimmies, no score on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. 11 minutes to play in the opening period. Gage Thompson turns it over. A blast that goes up over the crossbar. Great shot from the right point by Blake Fournier, who didn't have a chance to play last night. Gets the chance now. Comes back in. The captain trying to find his way into the hash marks for a loose puck. It goes loose to the far wall. Doyle pays a visit, then another to a couple of Jimmies on the far side boards. Disrupts the puck, and O'Connor comes back with it for Minot State in his own end. He'll play it it off to Doyle on the near side. A toss towards the slot. Cornell lost it. Fournier picked it up. We'll see a whistle, however. And Minot State apparently is offside. We're going to bring this back out into the neutral zone for a draw with 10:34 left of the first period. Get COVID-19 deep cleaning services for your home or business with Cleantech LLC. This proactive deep cleaning service includes disinfecting and sanitizing, and don't forget about Cleantech's 24/7 disaster response and restoration services. Visit them online, cleantechllc.us. Cleantech, coming to the rescue since 1992. Puck loose for Jamestown out in front of the net. They dig at it. Venier trying to get to it. Also had another chance for Venier on the high slot. Ends up losing it into the far corner, and we see Nathan Cohen-Wallace trying to chase down the loose puck, but the Beavers able to back check it out. It comes back to neutral ice, taken off the near side boards by Blake Fournier. This fourth line has skated well for Minot State this afternoon. They've logged a handful of minutes already. Cornell in the near corner for the University of Jamestown, trying to back check out for the Jimmies. Puts it back behind the net. Jamestown struggling to get any momentum going forward up the ice. Greg Suzinski looking with the puck back behind the net, reverses, comes back to the right side for Cornell. Cornell steps up into the neutral zone and plays the puck down the wall to facilitate a change. Johannesson for Minot State off the far boards. The Chains got to the Minot line quickly, put a little pressure on. Berggren trying to force the puck back behind the net, does. Minot State will get to it with Braden Paluk coming back to the near side boards for the Beavers. He pushes the puck into the neutral zone and then turned it over. Berggren tried to make a seeing eye pass. He had a chance with Quinn Garrison going up the ice momentarily. Garrison a little late to get to the spot, left the puck wide, and it comes off the far wall for Landon Cochran for Minot State. Cochran can't hold it. It'll be pushed back into the zone by Cornell. He'll put it back behind the net. Paluk will take it away. Off to Cochran for Minot State. He drops it back behind the net. Paluk with it again. Some good pressure here from Berggren, and now UJ gathering some momentum. We'll see a whistle as well, and Jamestown may have been offside. It was a bit of a delayed offside call, but we're going to see an offside call made here against the University of Jamestown, and that'll bring us out into the neutral zone for a draw after our media stoppage with 9:04 left in the opening period. We are scoreless on our First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. The Beavers and the Jimmies. This is Minot State Beaver Hockey on PSP.
Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
Nothing brings people together quite like a football game. As the summer months come to an end, at First Western Bank and Trust, we look forward to supporting our local football teams. Those Friday night lights, cheering on the players, and watching the game with friends and family, that's what fall is all about. As teamwork and perseverance drives each team to achieving their goals, we all wish players safety and the best of luck on the field this year. We'll be cheering you on. At First Western Bank and Trust, we aren't just here for you, we are you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Mesa Arena through 11 minutes of hockey this afternoon. Scoreless, Minot State, the University of Jamestown. A quick shot by Carter Johnson coming out of the break. Johnson ends up blasting the puck wide to the near side wall. Popoff trying to force one back through the slot, keeping the puck in the University of Jamestown offensive end. Minot State able to back check, bring it back out into the neutral zone. Popoff behind the net for the Jimmies trying to play out. Andrew Clark is there as his partner. Davis Shelton leading the first line back on the ice for Minot State. We've got a man on the ice that may have landed on the puck, and it looks like we'll have another penalty coming up as some tempers flare in the right corner of the University of Jamestown zone, and we'll wait for a penalty that will be called, and we'll put another team on the man advantage. Minot State 0 for 1 on the power play so far today. But we're going to see a penalty called here against the University of Jamestown, and as of yet, the penalty has not been indicated. Jordan Crom is going to go in. This is going to be a 5-minute major penalty for checking from behind. So Crom will get a 5-minute major for checking from behind. A huge opportunity for Minot State in the opening period. Time of the penalty will be at 11 minutes and 29 seconds of the first. And Minot State will skate with a man advantage for 5 minutes as the Jimmies take a major penalty for checking from behind. will draw in the Jamestown zone, and now the University of Jamestown defense will be pressed. Landon Cochran trying to keep the puck in possession for Minot State in the offensive end. It squeaks back out into the neutral zone. This will be brought back up into the offensive end by Minot State. May have another numbers change for Minot State as well. It looks like we do. That's Doyle, correction. Nick Doyle back in his own end, brings the puck up as far as the Jamestown line. A bit of a misplay by Carter Barley trying to hold position. This will float back to the near side wall. Barley and Cochran come to it. 5-minute major ongoing for Minot State. Barley in the high slot trying to set up the power play cycle. Into the right corner, looks towards the end wall, then it comes off the boards, and he made a poor pass back out to the point. That was picked off and will be cleared by Quinn Garrison back into the Minot State end. 4 minutes, 10 seconds left on the major penalty against Jamestown. Minot State, the University of Jamestown scoreless. Beavers with a man advantage, looking to get on the board. Davis Sheldon into the offensive end. Rims one around, back to the far side wall. Robertson will let it come back to the point. This will be held down by Paluk. Back to Robertson off the right side half wall. To Paluk on the right point. He comes back high. Robertson again, back to Paluk. A little deep. He'll come to the circle. Bohr crossing past Robertson on a one-timer, and he fanned on it. Had a good angle, but ends up missing on most of it. Metcalf trying to rescue the loose puck behind the net. Turns back towards the end wall. Popoff giving him pressure for UJ. Metcalf able to get to it. Steers the puck up the near side boards. It's taken down there by Eric Sohr, the goal scorer last night for the Beavers. Puck loose in the corner with Popoff controlling for Jamestown. A battle going on for control. Sheldon tried to hold it in. Paluk did, making an aggressive catch of an airborne puck out in the high slot. He'll drop it back towards the right side. Grayson Neufeld is there. Neufeld with a wrister. Rebounded puck comes to Metcalf. Metcalf couldn't quite get there. Big save by Tyson Brower behind the play. Palooka one-timer, it goes wide off the wall. Picked up there and brought back by Davis Shelton to the near side boards. Sohr will play it back high. 3 minutes to go on the major penalty for Minot State. Correction, major penalty for Jamestown. The power play for Minot State. And the Jimmies are able to get a weak clear. Andrew Clark plays it off the far side boards. And Minot State will have to go back into their own zone to regroup. Jamestown had a very long stand, over 2 minutes, with the same penalty kill unit, so they're looking for a refresher. They find it. Carter Barley comes up into the offensive end, drops it back to Paluk, who's played the entire penalty. Off to Cassie, he fires, and it just barely missed, getting over the shoulder of Tyson Brower. Brower was able to get a piece of it, and it would have found its way underneath the crossbar. Had the top of that shoulder blade not been extended for Brower, he lost the puck again. Will draw in the Jimmy zone with 2:28 left of the opening period. Half the power play gone by. UJ trying to kill off a 5-minute major penalty that was taken by Crom for a checking from behind. Happened with 8.5 minutes to go of the opening period. Minot State trying to find the scoring streak. A rush on the right side, a wrister by Barley that's deflected wide. Loose puck comes off the end wall. Adam Warwick, one of the top performers from a year ago, sends it back out to the line. Doyle dropping off right side. Barley to the right side of the net. Now Cassie on the near side boards. It works back to Doyle on the left point. Doyle skating laterally along the wall, back to the right side. A blast off the boards coming from Braden Paluk. Off the point that goes over the bar. Another hit into the board. Suzinski could very easily have been called for a checking from behind on that situation as well. Skating free, a drive off the right side for Adam Warwick. Now a puck loose in front of the net. This will be taken down by Landon Cochran for Minot State. 1:35 left of the man advantage. A 5-minute power play, and we're down to 1.5 of those 5 minutes for the Beavers. Cassie back out on top. Doyle off the right side, steering in front. Cochran a drive. He got inside the defense right in the bottom of the slot and could not quite get an angle to squeak the puck through. Cassie off the right side. A look. It comes back to Cassie on the left point. He takes a look. Found an alley looking for a touch off the right side off the one-timer. He had a man coming in. That was Landon Cochran, but Cochran was a bit late getting there, and finally a clear. Quinn Garrison will come up with a play for UJ, and that penalty kill unit is gassed as well. Down to a minute left of the power play for Minot State. 4.5 left to go of the opening period. Doyle coming up, ice untouched, fires. Brower the glove save. Second effort, scores! Minot State will get a shot from Justin Metcalf. Coming up with a rebounded puck off of Doyle's shot. Metcalf bangs it through, and Metcalf and the Beavers with a power play goal will take a 1-0 lead. Time of the goal will be at 15 minutes and 37 seconds, and give Nate Metcalf the counter. We'll wait for the official scoring, but we should see an assist on that play from Nick Doyle as well. And again, a power play goal at 15:37. It took a while, but Minot State finds their way and will skate with a man advantage for another 52 seconds as they take a 1-0 lead on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Minot State with the opening lead today. And again, we'll wait for the official scoring to come in for any other helpers that might be assisted. In the meantime, Eric Soar from Minot State controlling the puck back in the University of Jamestown end. This will be deflected back to the neutral zone. Paluk will go back to get it for Minot State into the Beaver zone, and 30 seconds left to go on the power play clock for the Beavers. Paluk coming back up towards the near side, plays it off the wall for Eric Soar, who will ring it down. Brower back behind the net, trying to reverse out to the wall. This is cut off by Davis Sheldon. Sheldon will turn it back towards the right side point, finding some help there with Nick Doyle. Correction, Paluk. Paluk turns it back off towards the right side. Shot from Robertson. Another shot deflected out in the high slot. A chance to drag it back towards the near side wall for Jordan Robertson. He circles back to the top, brings it back to Soar on the left wall. Another shot into traffic, and how Tyson Brower found that, not sure. He makes a glove save behind traffic right in front of the knee pads, and there were about 4 different bodies, 2 apiece, 2 from the Jimmies, 2 from the Beavers, that were in the path of that shot. Somehow Tyson Brower made the stop. That is his 17th save this afternoon. Shots are 18-3 in favor of the Beavers, as they were through the third period of last night's matchup down in Jamestown. So again, the Beavers have dominated, but we get a score for Minot State that came on the power play, and a 5-minute major power play as well. We're getting the goal score now. Justin Metcalf does come up with credit for the goal. We'll get an assist from Peter Doyle, and we'll see if there's another. It'll be Metcalf from Doyle on the power play at 15:37, the official scoring for the Minot State goal, and it's 1-0 in favor of Minot State. A power play goal with the clock down to 3 minutes left to go in the opening period. The power play over. The University of Jamestown did well to give up just one and nearly killed off the 5-minute major. That was down to about 50 seconds left to go on the power play before Minot State found the back of the net and a rebounded puck. Vladislav Zamitsky holding the puck in the far corner for the University of Jamestown. We'll see a whistle, and we're going to draw coming up in the UJ zone after Tyson Brower reaches down and freezes another. 2:37 left of the opening period. Arbo Photography is the leader in game photo coverage and senior pictures. The proof is in the gallery. Find Arbo Photography on Facebook and Instagram or online. ARBAUT photography.com. That's ARBAUT photography.com. University of Jamestown out with a puck. Off the right side, Carter Johnson coming in, blasts another shot that goes wide. Loose in the far corner, Johnson's able to pick it up again for UJ. A rare opportunity to cycle, perhaps their first of the game. And here's a shot that gets through, and Chad Duran, who hasn't been tested a lot today, comes up with a great stop on a blast by Gage Suzinski from the left point. He got a wrister through cleanly, and Duran was right where he needed to be and comes up with a stop. Clock will dwindle down to 2:14 left of period number 1. We'll take another look through that First International Bank and Trust scoreboard during our intermission report. Our intermission report brought to you by Premier Chiropractic, and we'll update those high school football scores from North Dakota, including that matchup that was on PSP this afternoon in Surrey, between Surrey and Lintel, Hazelton, Moffett, Braddock. Huckaluck out on the right point for UJ, sends one wide and will dribble over into the far corner. Jimmy's trying to chase it down on the far side. A little bit of extra pressure coming in for Jamestown. They made a couple of changes here. We see Nathan Cohen-Wallace on that first line, and here's a huge hit back behind the play. Bo Cornell trying to clear a puck on the back check. He paid the price and took a big hit, and here's another that's dealt out. Adam Wowrick throwing some bodies for Minot State on the near side boards. He tries to skate around Suzinski. They collide shoulder to shoulder. Puck loose in the corner, taken out by Cohen-Wallace for UJ. He'll ring it around to the right side for Huckaluck. Huckaluck loses it in the air back in the neutral zone. O'Connor steps up in the Minot State zone, splits a pair of defenders with a great backhand move, but loses the puck behind him, and Morgan Venet comes away away with the puck for UJ. He'll send it down the ice trying to facilitate a change. Chad Duran misplayed this in the net for Minot State. Had to end up poking it wide. Now a puck goes loose on the right side. Here's a 2-on-1 odd man rush. Robertson in the middle, taking the puck and missing on the one-timer. Got a great pass from Davis Sheldon, and Robertson was crashing the heart of the slot. Great pass from Sheldon and a good touch-up by Robertson. He just missed it. Ginger for the University of Jamestown. A shot from a steep angle off the left point. It rebounds off the back wall and dribbles back onto the far circle. Taken up there by Jordan Popoff for the Jimmies. Popoff a stop in the corner. O'Connor trying to play it out for Minot State. Goes loose off the far side glass. Justin Metcalf, who had the goal to get started, brings this back out in the neutral zone. It will dribble back to the Jimmy line. Clark will try to clear. Sends this back into the Minot State end. Icing will be the call. And that'll bring us back into the UJ zone for a draw. When shopping for tires, shop Tires Plus. All brands under one roof with the guaranteed lowest prices. And check this out, there's service after the sale with the Tires Plus plan. Simply put, Tires Plus is in a different league. Find them online at TiresPlusND.com. We'll draw in the left circle, the University of Jamestown zone. A battle for control of the puck. Popoff plays it off the far side wall. Dribbles this back out into the neutral zone. Ginger Thompson giving chase. Be taken up by Duran behind the Minot State net. A little bit of confusion, but Johannesson comes away with the puck. Sends it up the far side boards looking for Grayson Neufeld. It got behind him. This will be an icing against Minot State. And with 7.7 seconds left in the period, we're on our way back into the Beaver zone for a draw. 28 Tastes and Taps is now open. If you're hungry, you'll leave satisfied. Guaranteed. A unique menu that will have your mouth watering. Open 7 days a week. Located on South 16th Street. 28 Tastes and Taps. A family restaurant that's locally owned. We draw in the right circle, the Minot State zone. Left circle for the Jimmies. And Tyler Chavez-Leach will take the draw for the University of Jamestown against Rhett Locke. Third line versus third line. Aiden Potus comes off the wall for the Jimmies trying to make a shot towards the net. And that'll be the end of the opening period of play, and we've got a gathering going on behind the net, and a huge gathering it is. We've got 4 Beavers, we've got 3 Jimmies involved in some fisticuffs and wrestling moves. It's a lot of pulling and tugging right now, not a lot of punching at this point, but still some tempers flaring as the officials are trying to step in and break things up. Doyle trying to mix things up on the back end with one of the Jimmies on the backside of that play. I believe he was going at it in that sequence with Quinn Garrison. No correction, Aiden Potus. Doyle and Potus were the men that were involved there. Cooler heads apparently are going to prevail, and that should take us to our first intermission. Our intermission report brought to you by Premier Chiropractic, a chiropractic clinic focused on improving the health of Minot and the surrounding area through the most cutting-edge advances in natural health care today. Dr. Kirk Mason combines several techniques to decrease pain and improve function. Dr. Becky Perry-Domries focuses on treating pediatrics and prenatal. We will have some penalties coming up at the end of the at the end of the period due to that little gathering that took place back behind the Minot State net. We'll give you the penalty summary on that coming up, and we'll have our intermission report next. It's 1-0 Minot State on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard after 1. This is Beaver Hockey on PSP.
Systems go for lunch break when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
This presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Chiropractic, Clean Tech, Premier Movement, Tires Plus, 28 Tastes and Taps, Beaupre Law Firm, Homesteaders, Subway, First Western Bank and Trust, Arbo Photography, North Country Sportswear, 701 Realty, and Pro Style Production DJ Services.
With 28 on the shot clock, 53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3, on low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter @NetworkPSP and on Facebook @The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
Hi, this is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
Nothing brings people together quite like a football game. As the summer months come to an end, at First Western Bank and Trust, we look forward to supporting our local football teams. Those Friday night lights, cheering on the players, and watching the game with friends and family, that's what fall is all about. As teamwork and perseverance drives each team to achieving their goals, we all wish players safety and the best of luck on the field this year. We'll be cheering you on. At First Western Bank and Trust, we aren't just here for you, we are you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
For the 200 that are in attendance this afternoon, it's been a fun matchup. A couple of penalties, including a 5-minute major, a power play goal for Minot State, and an interesting meeting of the minds that came up at the end of the first period, where we will apparently see some penalties assessed coming up as we get into the second period today. Those penalties have not been put up on the board as of yet, but we're expecting that there will be something that came out of not quite fisticuffs, but certainly pushing and shoving between the Beavers and the Jimmies at the end of the opening period. We welcome you back to Minot State University Beaver Hockey today on Pro Style Productions here at Mesa Arena. Our intermission report brought to you by Premier Chiropractic, a chiropractic clinic focused on improving the health of the Minot and surrounding areas through the most cutting-edge advances in natural health care today. Dr. Kirk Mason combines several techniques to decrease pain and improve function. Dr. Becky Perry Domries focuses on treating pediatrics as well as prenatal. 1-0 Minot State on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. It was a power play goal that got things going. Our first period summary, a couple of penalties that were taken by the University of Jamestown, and they did play a part in how this thing settled out, at least on the back end of those penalties. First penalty goes against Logan Berggren. He takes a penalty for slashing at 6:07 of the opening period, but in the long run, Minot State found a couple of angles to the net, didn't really get a lot done during that period. Couple of good shots, that was about it, and Jamestown beat that off without too big a deal. Then later in the period, see a little bit more of an intense penalty. Jordan Crom gets called for checking from behind at 11:29 of the opening period. Minot State goes on a 5-minute major, and credit to UJ, they were able to kill off over 4 minutes of it. And what really stood out about that penalty kill for the Jimmies was that both of their penalty kill units, they only got to change up once during that power play. They had to go out there for 2 full minutes killing penalties. And as you know, killing penalties, it might not be the rush up and down the ice, but it takes a lot of energy to come out, challenge pucks, put a body on somebody here or there, get back, and you have to be sharp. And if you're going to stand out there for 2 minutes on your skate edges and try to do that, you're going to have a heck of a run. They did that twice during that penalty kill. But in the long run, we see a goal for Minot State on the power play as Nick Doyle comes in, puts on a short-range shot. Tyson Brower made a glove save but left a rebound. Justin Metcalf went up, banged that through in the air for the first goal. It's Metcalf from Doyle on the power play at 15:37, and that made it a 1-0 lead for Minot State. And then at the end of the opening period, we see a matchup of pushing and shoving and a big pile of bodies off to the right of the Minot State goal. We did not see penalties announced, at least at this point thus far, but we'll probably, because the officials got together in front of the table, we're probably going to see some penalties assessed that will get our second period started today. But a power play goal, it's Justin Metcalf from Peter Doyle, and rather Nick Doyle, the time of the goal at 15:37 on the power play, and Justin Metcalf and the Beavers make it a 1-0 lead as we go into the first intermission. That is your intermission summary, and it's brought to you by Premier Chiropractic. A pause. When we come back, we'll run down our First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Number of high school playoff games going on around the region today, including a game that we've had here on PSP between Surrey and Linton HMB with Scott Cattell. We'll take a look at what the score is in that matchup at present, along with some of the other finals that have come in today as we continue in a moment. This is Minot State University Beaver Hockey. It's 1-0 Beavers over the Jimmies on PSP.
Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
This presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Chiropractic, Clean Tech, Premier Movement, Tires Plus, 28 Tastes and Taps, Beaupre Law Firm, Homesteaders, Subway, First Western Bank and Trust, Arbo Photography, North Country Sportswear, 701 Realty, and Pro Style Production DJ Services.
With 28 on the shot clock, 53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson, the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3, on low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter, @NetworkPSP, and on Facebook, the PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
Hi, this is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
Nothing brings people together quite like a football game. As the summer months come to an end, at First Western Bank and Trust, we look forward to supporting our local football teams. Those Friday night lights, cheering on the players, and watching the game with friends and family, that's what fall is all about. As teamwork and perseverance drives each team to achieving their goals, we all wish players safety and the best of luck on the field this year. We'll be cheering you on. At First Western Bank and Trust, we aren't just here for you, we are you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
After a period of play on our First International Bank and Trust scoreboard this afternoon, it's the Beavers 1 and the Jimmies 0. Minot State University Beaver Hockey today on Pro Style Productions, PSP, here at Mesa Arena in Minot, in the Magic City, in the Pepsi Rink, where the Beavers are trying to tally their third win of the season, currently with a record of 2-0-1-1. And the University of Jamestown, despite skating extremely well this year, a 1-goal loss with Iowa State, a draw with Iowa State, a draw last night with Minot State, another with the University of Mary. They come in, no wins, 3 3 losses, or rather no wins, a loss, 3 draws, and a couple of overtime shootout losses. So they're looking for the magic formula. They were stuck on a 5-minute penalty kill and killed over 4 minutes of it before Justin Metcalf bangs in a rebounded goal off a shot by Nick Doyle. It's Metcalf from Doyle at 15:37 on the power play, and Minot State with a 1-0 lead at the first intermission. Our intermission report brought to you by Premier Chiropractic, a chiropractic clinic focused on improving the health of the Minot and surrounding area through the most cutting-edge advances in natural health care today. Dr. Kirk Mason combines several techniques to decrease pain and improve function. And Dr. Becky Perry-Domries focuses on treating pediatrics and prenatal. We're getting the penalties. We've seen a penalty on Minot State's, I believe that was called against Dylan Cassie, and this will be enforced in the second period. Now, again, for those of you just joining us, we did see not a fight, but certainly a pushing and shoving match at the end of the opening period, and they did discuss some penalties over in front of the scorer's table, and we were waiting for the announcement of those penalties, and Dylan Cassie of Minot State will get a checking from behind penalty. I believe that's going to come in right at the 20-minute mark of the first period, which means that UJ will start the second period on a 5-minute major penalty, assuming nothing else is announced here. Now, there was a lot going on in that pushing and shoving match. It's a little surprising that UJ didn't come out with an infraction as well, but they will not, at least to this point. And so, again, a 5-minute major for checking from behind against Minot State's Dylan Cassie, and that should put the Jimmies on a power play to start the second period. And that's how we'll go into our second period of play. Let's take a look at our First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. We've had high school football playoff games all around the region today, including here on PSP. Scott Cattell was out in Surrey today for a matchup between Surrey and Linton Hazelton Moffett Braddock, and the Lions won the matchup. Now, again, it was an eventful day today for Linton HMB. They lost their equipment trailer off the back of their bus on the way to Surrey today. It rolled in a ditch down by Moffett. They had to go back and retrieve all the equipment that was in it and then pack it onto their bus and continue the trip. But they come up with a 24-6 win today. They knock off the Mustangs on PSP, and Linton will advance to the quarterfinals of the 11-man 1A bracket. Some other scores that have come in today. Towner Granville Upham defeats Grant County Flasher. That's a big upset. The Region 4 champions, Grant County Flasher, defeated today by Towner Granville Upham in the 9-man playoffs, 42-28, the final score in that matchup. Also at the 1A level, the Oaks Tornadoes defeat Carrington 36-0 this afternoon. Other scores: Shiloh Christian 32-0 win in their matchup today down in Bismarck, so they will move to the quarterfinals. North Border defeats Wyndmere Lidgerwood in 9-man play today by a score of 24-6. A couple of other scores we can pencil in for you. Lisbon defeats Harvey Wells County 38-24. That was a good matchup down in Lisbon, and the Broncos, who are the number 2 overall seed in 1A football behind Langdon Area, are going to advance. Langdon Area won easily today as they knock off their opponent, Thompson, in the opening round by a score of 43-6, and Langdon Area will take on Oaks. That's going to be a dandy matchup. That'll be number 1 and number 2 in the polls. Number 1 and number 4 in the polls, and that'll be in the round of 8. That's what happens when you start seeding out the tournament, but you only seed 4 teams, and you leave a little bit of holes to be covered there as far as the best matchups going forward. Mayport CG on the verge of a win in the 9-man football playoffs right now. A couple of the scores that we have to pass along on our scoreboard this afternoon. But again, as heard here on PSP, Linton HMB with a 24-6 win over Surrey this afternoon, and that'll put the Lions into the next round of the 1A football playoffs. When we have complete brackets, we'll pass those along. We're still waiting for the High School Activities Association to update their brackets, but when they do, we'll give you the matchups coming up for next week. Here, Minot State University Beaver Hockey. The Beavers lead the Jimmies by a score of 1-0, but we've seen a checking from behind penalty at the end of the opening period called against Dylan Cassie, a 5-minute major, and UJ is going to start with a power play, a 5-minute major power play to start the second, and the second period is on the way next here on PSP. Hold on, more from Mesa Arena next.
Pizza. 4 systems go for lunch. When supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
This presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Chiropractic, Clean Tech, Premier Movement, Tires Plus, 28 Tastes and Taps, Beaupre Law Firm, Homesteaders, Subway, First Western Bank and Trust, Arbo Photography, North Country Sportswear, 701 Realty, and Pro Style Production DJ Services.
28 on the shot clock, 53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson, the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3, on low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter, @NetworkPSP, and on Facebook, @The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network, it's game day.
Thank you for tuning in for our Premier Chiropractic Intermission Report this afternoon. After a period of play, Minot State leading the University of Jamestown 1-0 on a power play goal from Justin Metcalf, assisted by Nick Doyle. But now it'll be the University of Jamestown that would appear to have a chance to skate with a man advantage. They've got 5 on the ice to Minot State's 4 after a checking from behind was called against Dylan Cassie at the 20-minute mark. So the second period will start with some adversity for Minot State as they will be down a man for 5 straight minutes. UJ tried to kill off a 5-minute major, and they got 4 minutes and 2 seconds into it before a goal was scored by the Beavers. We'll see if the Beavers have an opportunity to kill off all 5. The University of Jamestown taking control of the opening faceoff to start the second. Suzinski back on his own line trying to lead the charge up the ice. Widens out towards the left wall and moves into the corner where he's being chased around by Eric Soar. Soar scored the lone goal last night. He disrupts the puck and Paul O'Connor will clear it, and the puck ends up back in the University of Jamestown zone. Jimmy's will hold it up behind the net. Tyson Brower waits for his team to rally to it. They do. And Nathan Cohen-Wallace will come out with the puck and moves into the neutral zone. Jake Huckaluck with a drive that was deflected off a clash of sticks and ends up into the webbing. We'll see a draw coming up in the Minot State zone. 35 seconds off the power play clock for the University of Jamestown. And the Jimmies will draw coming up in the Minot State end. Boy, it's just odd to say UJ. Spent a lot of time at one of the fellow colleges in North Dakota, Valley City State, earlier in my career. Back then it was Jamestown College. It's a little tough to get used to the University of Jamestown, but we're doing it. Cohen-Wallace playing it back out to the point, looking for Aiden POTUS, who is the extra forward out on the power play unit. POTUS goes back into his own zone to pick it up after the puck gone by. He'll play it back to the near wall for Jake Huckaluck, and Huckaluck's through the neutral zone for UJ on a 4-on-2, trying to get up, but how about the nifty play by Davis Shelton on the back check? Comes in and just picks his pocket clean and brings the puck back into the neutral zone. It forces UJ back into their own end to form up once more. Now Huckaluck on the right side, looking out to Gage Thompson. Thompson will bring it up on the far side wall, looking for Huckaluck behind the net. That was cut off. Good play by Chad Duran to step back and cut off the flow of the puck. And another clear by Minot State and a whistle on the back end of this. We're going to see a penalty for slashing coming up, and UJ's going in the box. We're going to skate 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. That is a costly penalty for Gage Thompson, the Valley City, North Dakota native. that's going to go into the box for slashing. He's going to give up 2 minutes of the 5-minute major. He'll be called for slashing. The time of the penalty will be at 1 minute and 23 seconds, and so it's 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes, barring anything else. But more importantly for Minot State, it trades in 2 minutes of the 5-minute major for UJ. They'll have 1.5 minutes of power play time coming back out of it, but it will disrupt their ability to maintain real momentum in this matchup on the man advantage. Adam Wowrick back on the ice, plays it up to Johannesson on the right side wall, and Johannesson will bring it back into the neutral zone. He goes looking right side for Carter Barley. It got by Barley. He ends up in the far corner going up against Suzinski for control of the puck. It works back towards the right side. Bo Cornell, who got lit up on a big hit back in the first period, but he comes away with it. Back to Suzinski behind the net, being chased down by Barley. Good forecheck pressure here by Minot State on the 4-and-4. Instead of playing some space, they're coming man-to-man, looking for control of a loose puck. Reed Wilson back to Suzinski. He plays it through the neutral zone on almost a clear, and it ends up back behind the Minot State net. Johannesson back pedaling the puck up the wall and a backhand to Wowrick. Turns it back out towards the line. This is cut off on the near side by Marquez Ginger for Minot State. Took a bit of a hit, lost control of the puck. It ends up back in the neutral zone. A drive up ice for Carter Barley. We get a hit by a pair of University of Jamestown defenders. Andrew Clark comes away with it. Clark will stop, rim the puck down the near side wall, leaves it back behind the net. Cut off there by Chad Duran, and Minot State comes back onto the near side boards. Beavers back up ice on the 4-on-4 rush. Landon Cochran to drive out in front of the net. Loose puck picked up and stuck in by Justin Metcalf. Metcalf will score. Second goal for Metcalf in the right place, right time category today. Metcalf scored earlier on Nick Doyle's shot on the power play. That time just a harmless puck on the left side of the slot. It bangs back out, and Metcalf picks it up and roofs it. Goes top shelf for the goal, and Metcalf will make it 2-0 in favor of the Beavers. Time of the goal will be at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Metcalf's second today. We'll get the official scoring coming up. Earlier he scored on the power play. This will be on 4-on-4 skating. And the Beavers now have a 2-goal lead over the University of Jamestown. Puck comes back into the near side boards in the Minot State zone. We'll see an icing call or an offside call. This will be offside against the University of Jamestown. We're getting the official scoring. Justin Metcalf does get credit for the Beaver goal. We'll see an assist on the play for Landon Cochran. It'll be Metcalf from Cochran on the 4-on-4 at 2:45 to make it 2-0 in favor of Minot State. So specialty teams have been huge today. Minot State on the power play took 4 minutes of a 5-minute major to bang a puck in, but they did. And now they score in 4-on-4, and they're about to go back down a man as the penalty will run out against Gage Thompson. And that means that the Beavers are back on penalty kill. Landon Cochran got up the ice, centers for Metcalf, looking for the hat trick. He lost the puck just before he get a good shot away. It works back into the neutral zone. O'Connor will bang this back down into the University of Jamestown zone. Loose to the far boards. Rhett Locke giving a bit of a chase momentarily. Couldn't quite find it. The puck loose with Huckaluck trying to step to it. He'll move it back behind the net. Jordan Popoff coming back towards the right side corner. He puts on the brakes and works back behind the University of Jamestown net. 1:09 left to go of the Jimmy power play, but they gave up 2 minutes of a 5-minute major penalty that was called against Dylan Cassie for checking from behind at the end of the first period. That's going to be a big loss of momentum. Andrew Clark in the high slot for the Jimmies, backing up towards his own line. Looks back towards the near side, found Aiden Potus in the circle, back to Clark. A shot that nearly got through, kicked away by Chad Duran. The rebound was out in front of the net, but the Beavers do a nice job of clearing, and they work it back out into the neutral zone where Connor Schuster will dump it down on net, and that should extend, well, actually, correction, it'll extinguish all but 30 seconds of the power play for the University of Jamestown. Aiden Potus on the near wall, a pass too strong for him. Paul O'Connor cuts it off on the Minot State line and sends it back into the Jimmy zone. Potus on the far side wall looking to reestablish control for the University of Jamestown. He'll toss it back into the near side corner. A chase around for Morgan Venet leading that first line, the center of the opening unit for the University of Jamestown. He turns it back into the far side wall. Marquez Ginger coming back out into the near corner, looking for Aiden Potus in the neutral zone. It was too strong for Potus. That will be icing, and that will do it for the power play for the University of Jamestown. 3 seconds left to the man advantage. And we're going to run this puck back into the UJ zone for a draw off of the icing call. 15:02 left in the second period. And on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard, it's 2-0 Beavers on a pair of goals by Justin Metcalf. One on the power play, one on 4-on-4, having the big day today for Minot State. And the Beavers are now at full strength as Dylan Cassie gets out of the box for the first time of the second period after taking the checking from behind call to end the first. The Beavers scored once last night in regulation. So did UJ, tied it up at 1-1 despite a dominating 52-21 shot performance in favor of Minot State down in Jamestown today. They've been able to find the back of the net twice and both on special teams. Carter Johnson, a shot that goes wide. Wilson trying to pick it up off the wall. Bangs the rebound wide as well. It'll float back out as far as the line. Cut down by Bo Cornell, but Minot State back to it in their own zone. A drift back behind the net and a look by Braden Paluk, who comes back to the near wall. Neufeld coming out with it. Grayson Neufeld loses control of the puck back to the near wall. Crom, who got hit for the 5-minute checking from behind call for UJ, giving a chase to it on the left side wall in the Minot State zone. Works back to Carter Johnson on the far boards. Johnson hung up, back to Cornell. Shot from long range. Suzinski picks it up, fires and scores on a slap shot from the left point. It floats back to the point for Gage Suzinski. Had a long bit of distance to cover, and it looked like Chad Duran saw that well, but it ends up just howitzering past Chad Duran's right shoulder, and the Jimmies get one back at full strength and cut the lead to 2-1. Time of the goals at 6 minutes and 2 seconds of the second period, and defender Gage Suzinski comes up with the first score today for Jamestown. That's a goal that Chad Duran's going to want back. He saw that the entire way from the left point. It came in stick side, and for whatever reason may have guessed wrong, may have taken his eyes off it, lost it in something, but Gage Suzinski comes up with the first goal today for Jamestown. A drive up the ice, and a quick kick save, and a shot that will score for the Beavers. As we get the official scoring coming in on the goal, a goal that will score for Minot State, coming in on a drive for Carter Barley. Barley getting in, just playing one towards the low skate on Tyson Brower. Barley comes back. He strikes back for a third goal today for Minot State, and the Beavers are back up 2 at 3-1. Time of that goal will be at 6 minutes and 13 seconds. It's 11 seconds after the goal by Suzinski, and Minot State has answered and are back up 2. 22nd shot of the day for Minot State, and they end up with a score. I don't believe we got the entire scoring on the Suzinski's goal, at least as of yet. And we'll wait for the official scoring. And it looks like another penalty is coming up here against the University of Jamestown. Let's see. Nope. Carter Barley is going to go into the box after scoring the goal a moment ago. Landon Cochran will get an assist on Barley's goal. Paul O'Connor will as well. So it'll be Barley from Cochran and O'Connor. Even strength goal at 6:13. However, we'll see Barley going into the box for interference. That'll be another penalty against Minot State. So Carter Barley will go into the box for interference. The time of the penalty will be at 6 minutes and 21 seconds. And so we've had 19 seconds of action. Suzinski's goal at 6:02, Barley's answer at 6:13, and now an interference call against Carter Barley at 6:21. And Minot State is back on the penalty kill with a 2-goal lead, 3-1 on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Jimmy sending the puck up ice. Just a quick freeze by Duran. He wants to keep play moving. O'Connor comes up with the puck on the near side wall. Aiden Potus was able to hold it in. This works back behind the net. A turn by Jake Huckaluck trying to bring it back out to the near boards. Minot State got to it. Good clear again by O'Connor out of the right corner. He'll send it back up the ice. Gage Thompson tries to get to it, and this puck was played with a high stick. We're going to draw coming up in the UJ zone. So a lot of action here in the second period, and still plenty of the period to go. 13:06 left in this second. Minot State with a pair of goals from Justin Metcalf. The latest coming in from Carter Barley. But Barley in the bin right now on an interference call. And we'll draw coming up in the University of Jamestown zone after a puck played with a high stick. Puck comes back out to the line. Johannesson trying to hold it into the University of Jamestown zone. Works off right side. Reed Wilson comes up into the neutral zone. It's loose. Sheldon tried to play it across the ice. Picked up there by Chavez Lynch for Jamestown. He sends it back back into the Minot State zone. Late puck played by Dylan Cassidy, and he's able to squeak one all the way off the near wall. Gage Suzinski chasing back after it. It works back behind the net. Tyson Brower will try to play to some empty space back in the right corner for the Jimmies, and Morgan Venet will go back after it as well. It comes back behind the net for Nathan Cohen-Wallace, who tries to form up the line. Wilson on the near side, back to Cohen-Wallace, now Suzinski at center ice. He'll work to the right side. Chavez Leach on the wall. Push back bound towards the near side half wall on the left for the University of Jamestown. It ends up back behind the net. A turn back on the far side for Chavez Leach. Leach will pick it up behind the net, works back out near side for Ginger. Wilson, one-timer, high slot, rebounded pucks there, being fished out. We've got a whistle. The official may have lost sight of the puck. The puck was still loose, and the Jimmies are frustrated. That puck was not iced yet. That was laying to the right side of Chad Duran in the crease, and there were a pair of Jimmies that were there, but a whistle is blown, and that stops play. And the official immediately patted himself on the chest and said, "Hey, my bad. I don't believe he meant to blow that whistle. May have been anticipating that puck being frozen up." And in the end, takes an opportunity away from the Jimmies at that point. Gage Suzinski reels in control of the draw, sends a shot, steep angle near side that can't get through. Wilson trying to hold it in the zone, but instead a good clear on the back end that came from Austin Wheeler from Minot State. He turns it back into the University of Jamestown zone. 11:45 to play in the second period. First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Beavers 3, Jimmies 1. A little 2-on-1 rushes. Suzinski lost control of the puck. Landon Cochran put a body into him. Carter Barley's out of the bin. And so here comes the University of Jamestown. The Jimmies end up struggling, and they don't get much away on the offensive look on the power play that they enjoyed after Carter Barley scored a goal and then immediately went into the bin for interference, but they didn't get much offense there. A little bit of offense a moment ago, and then that whistle that will stick in their craw just a little bit. Puck on the near side. Carter Johnson for UJ off the left wall. Ends up losing the puck towards the crease. It'll come loose in the circle. Austin Wheeler brings it out for the Beavers. Turns it back to the point. Andrew Clark tried to hold it in for Jamestown. Loses it back to the right side. It'll be Popoff, Jordan Popoff, that sends it down the far wall. It ends up behind the net. Minot State trying to form up a rush. Braden Paluk is going to quarterback the breakout. Works out towards the right circle. Leaves it off the wall for Wheeler. Wheeler will dump this high. A pitchfork into the neutral zone. It flops in front of the Jimmy line. Comes back left side for Paluk, and he'll play it down the far side wall. Nearly halfway through the second period, the Beavers lead by a score of 3-1. More offense tonight than there was in Jamestown last night. That was a 1-1 draw despite 52 shots for Minot State. 3-on-2 odd man coming up the ice after a turnover. Justin Metcalf trying to get his third goal. Lost the puck behind him. It breaks out loose for Jamestown. Cohen-Wallace coming in with a rip out of the right circle. Out high to confront him was Chad Duran. He makes the stop. We see again a little bit more pushing and shoving in the inner hash marks, and that's going to take us to a media stoppage with 10:20 left to go here in the second period on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. It's Minot State 3, the University of Jamestown 1. This is Minot State Beaver Hockey on Pro Style Productions, PSP.
Hi, this is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
Back at Mesa Arena, it's 3-1 in favor of Minot State over the University of Jamestown. Welcome back to Minot State University Beaver Hockey on Pro Style Productions, PSP. When shopping for tires, shop Tires Plus. All brands under one roof with the guaranteed lowest prices. And check this out, there's service after the sale with the Tires Plus plan. Simply put, Tires Plus is in a different league. Visit them online, TiresPlusND.com. We'll draw in the Minot State University zone after Chad Duran throws a puck on a drive by the University of Jamestown to end that sequence. Minot State breaks out with a 3-on-2. Justin Metcalf, 2 goals today, plays it back to the high slot. Soar trying to squeak a shot through, did. Good stick save by Tyson Brower. Puck goes loose to the far wall. O'Connor able to hold it in for Minot State and sends it back behind the net. Davis Shelton trying to hold it down there. It works back to Soar on the right point. Soar trying to dance around a defender. The puck goes loose, comes back into the neutral zone. O'Connor able to hold it down and bangs a loose puck back into the far corner. Dumont for Jamestown playing back to the near side wall. Metcalf over to pick it up, fights for control on top of the near circle, looks to squeak it down the boards. Soar cuts it off in front of the Jamestown line. A quick turn and fire, aggressive play that was made by Rhett Locke on the right pipe, but ends up pushing it just wide, and this will flow back behind the UJ net. Comes back to Soar on the right half wall. Steep angle, plays it back out loose in front of the net, goes loose and taken back by the University of Jamestown's Vladislav Zemitsky. He'll bring it back to the neutral zone, and the Jimmies will push it back into the Minot State end. 9:15 to play, second period, and the Beavers lead 3-1 over the Jimmies in the second end of a home-and-home weekend between the Jimmies and the Beavers, this time at Mesa Arena here in Minot. Puck loose on the far boards. Gage Thompson for the Jimmies, playing it back loose towards the near side, looking to catch up with Tyler Chavez-Leach. This will come back towards the near boards. Works out in the neutral zone. Dylan Cassie played it down, knocked loose, and played out by Bo Cornell. It'll go into the Minot State zone, and a little snowplow stop that's sprayed Duran. Gage Thompson comes up on his edges and sprays some mist into the face of Duran, and Duran's teammates for Minot State take exception to Gage Thompson's behavior on the end of that play. Get COVID-19 deep cleaning services for your home or business with Clean Tech LLC. This proactive deep cleaning service includes disinfecting and sanitizing. Don't forget about Clean Tech's 24/7 disaster response and restoration services. Visit them online at cleantechllc.us. Clean Tech, coming to the rescue since 1992. Puck loose on the far side boards. Bo Cornell for the Jimmies on the right point. Blasts one in high. Suzinski picks it up. The goal scorer for Jamestown. And Cornell just lays out Davis Shelton on the far side wall. Correction, that was Jaeger Thiessen that got turned around on the hit. A little bit of a high elbow from Cornell as well. He took one earlier, maybe trying to repay the favor. 2-on-2 rush the other way. It's out in front of the net. Quick shot and a score! Off the left wall, slashing in. Jaeger Thiessen, who took the hit a moment ago and got laid out. He comes in, picking up a puck on the far wall, dashes in and scores with a turning backhand, and the Beavers will take a 3-goal lead at 4-1. Time of the goal will be at 11:45 of the second period, and Thiessen takes the big hit in his own end, stays with the puck, comes down the ice, grabs a puck off the far wall, comes slashing in towards the net, just made a turning backhand fire and went 5-hole on Tyson Brower, and the Beavers are turning this one into a runaway. A 3-goal lead just over halfway into the second period of action. A shots advantage of 25-15 for Minot State. Not as dominant on the shots advantage as it was yesterday, but they're finding the net often so far this afternoon. We'll get the official scoring on the goal for Thiessen. They do credit Jaeger Thiessen with the goal as the shot goes wide for Jamestown. This may be an unassisted goal, and they'll say all alone for Jaeger Thiessen. So Thiessen scores all alone at 11:45, and it's 4-1, and more pushing and shoving going around, and this time Landon Cochran lands a blow at the elbow up in the griddle on one of the Jimmies, and I believe that Jimmy that took the shots was Carter Johnson behind the Jimmy net. We've got a stick loose as well, and we may see more administration activity over in front of the scorer's table on the end of this one. So it's Thiessen all alone. Time of the goal, 11:45, even strength, and that makes it 4-1 in favor of Minot State. As of yet, no officials approaching the table to administer penalties. The linesmen will get together and talk about it, but I don't think they're going to go with any further. Well, hold on. We've got a linesman making his way over towards the table now. Nope. No penalties there. We're going to play through it. Marquez Ginger will draw for Jamestown in the Minot State zone. and he will draw against Davis Shelton for the Beavers. Wheeler comes up with control of the near side wall for Minot State. Looking back to Metcalf on the near boards. This goes loose back behind the net. Long rush to get over there for Berggren, who wasn't on the lineup card today, but ends up getting a lot of playing time so far for Jamestown. Metcalf gets wiped out. Garrison pulled him down and put him into a referee. Hopefully the referee is going to be okay. He's struggling to get up right now. Berggren on the far side boards, and we've got a referee down. It's our referee, correction, no, it's one of our linesmen that was hit, or is it? No, it is one of our referees that was hit in front of the scorer's table. He tried to get up. He was grasping at his left knee. And in the process, he tried to get up a couple of times and was unable to do so. And one of the training staff is going to be escorted over to the table by Minot State's Blake Fournier. And we'll see what comes of this. But when you're talking about a game including everything, now you have an injured referee that we'll have to check in with. 2 refs, 2 linesmen here, and now we'll see if this is going to go down to the 3-man unit. Again, our referee that was hit on the near side tried to make his way back up to his skates and continue, but he reached at his knee after taking the hit and then tried to get up, and then after 2 tries to get back up to his feet, ended up going back down on the ice as he knew he was in some trouble. And right now they're trying to stretch out that left leg of his. From the looks of it, just kind of looking down, it looks like he's already got a bit of a brace on that leg, but that just may be a guard on the shins to keep him away from any trouble with the puck hitting it. So the training staff will attend to our referee on the near side of the ice, but an unfortunate situation gives us an opportunity to get you hungry and get you thirsty. 28 Tastes and Taps is now open. If you're hungry, you'll leave satisfied, guaranteed. A unique menu that will have your mouth watering. Open 7 days a week, located on South 16th Street. 28 Tastes and Taps, a family restaurant that is locally owned. A reminder that the Minotoros are in action tonight here at Mesa Arena. They're going to go up against the St. Cloud Norskies, formerly the Brookings Blizzard. They rebranded their team in the middle of last year. Our referee is up. He's going to come off the ice and go down to the tunnel and get some work. And I would assume right now the game will go down to a 3-man style of officiating while we wait to see if our official can come back out on the ice so they can keep play going. Clock halted with 7:23 left in this second period. So we've seen a couple of 5-minute major penalties. We've seen 4-on-4 skating that produced a goal. We've seen a couple of brouhahas. And now an official goes down as well. And we've still got plenty of time to go in this matchup. 4-1 Beavers on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. They'll draw out of the right circle, the left circle in the Minot State zone. It's picked up off the boards, played out by Braden Paluk towards the near side wall, looking for Justin Metcalf. He got held up, and Marquez Ginger comes out looking for control of the puck. This comes back to Garrison. He tries a wrister top of the near circle. Easy stop for Chad Duran, who makes that shoulder high and will draw again coming up in the Minot State zone. Visiting earlier today with the head coach of Minot State, Wade Regier, and mentioning what does the season look like. They've had a few games that have been called off, at least temporarily, with Midland out of Fremont, Nebraska. That's due to the lack of willingness to travel in this situation. Quick shot and a score by Aiden Potus on a wraparound around the net. Didn't look like it would be harmful, but Aiden Potus was camping out in the near circle, takes a terrific wraparound pass for Marquez Ginger, and Potus is true, knocking in the one-timer. Correction, will be Gage Thompson that will get the assist. Aiden Potus will score out of the near circle, and the lead back down to 2 for the Beavers. It's now 4-2 Minot State. Time of the goal at 12 minutes and 57 seconds of the second period. Aiden Potus is a North Dakota product. Played high school hockey in North Dakota and comes up with a goal here for the University of Jamestown, expecting that Gage Thompson will get the assist on that goal. We'll wait for the official scoring, but the POTUS line is going to stay out there. That's the third line coming through, and Gage Thompson figured in the scoring last night. He assisted on Quinn Garrison's goal for the University of Jamestown and their lone goal of the night last night. I believe they've given the goal to Thompson, but that's incorrect. Yeah, they've got that incorrect. It was Aiden Potus that scored the goal. It'll be Potus from Thompson, and they're also going to credit Tyler Chavez-Leach. The entire line will get it on the scoring. So it'll be Potus from Thompson and Chavez-Leach, even strength at 12:57. And the Beavers have their lead cut to 2. It's now 4-2. Minot State with the University of Jamestown getting one back. O'Connor on the far side boards. Berggren ties him up for the Jimmies. Suzinski comes out with the puck and then lost the puck over on the far side wall. This will be backhanded back down the ice by Nick Doyle for Minot State. Doyle gives chase back behind the net, works back out towards the high slot loose, comes back towards the wall. Jake Huckeluck trying to measure Fournier. We've got a loose puck as well, and it looks like Minot State was offside. So we'll come back out to the neutral zone to draw with the clock at 6:05 left of the second. You know, it was a dominating offensive performance in the opening period for Minot State. They led on the shots at one point, 17-3. They had an 18-3 advantage at the end, or rather through the third period of last night's matchup. But right now, 25-19 shots on goal in favor of in favor of Minot State. But the University of Jamestown has found their way back in this offensively, and they're within 2 at 4-2. Minot State's been very efficient with their shots, scoring on a handful of opportunities here in this second period. They were accurate, but they haven't produced a ton of offense here as we see some more pushing and shoving up against the right side wall that the officials will step in to clean up. Have to give credit for the fans that are here as well. I mean, normally this arena would have many more bodies in it right now, but Minot State stepping in to limit attendance here at the arena to only 200 fans, and the 200 fans that are here have done a great job of producing some atmosphere. We're going to get a penalty against Minot State on the end of this. This will be a holding penalty against Fournier, and Jamestown will go back on the man advantage. So Fournier is going to be called for a holding. The time of the penalty will be at 14 minutes and 8 seconds. And so another power play for the University of Jamestown. They score. This thing goes from a 3-goal lead at one point to a 1-goal lead as it's 4-2 in favor of the Beavers. But again, the Beavers are down a man with Blake Fournier going in for a holding. Connor Schuster into the offensive end. Quick shot. Tyson Brower reaches out, makes a glove save after Connor Schuster had come up the ice all by himself. Schuster is a Thief River Falls Norskies product, playing out of the Superior International League in Thief River Falls, plays his junior hockey at the Baby Ralph Ingolstadt Arena up in Thief River Falls. They'll draw to the right circle in the Jamestown or the University of Jamestown zone. And we wait for the puck to go down. Finally corralled by Minot State. Back to get it was Wade Johannesson. He'll dump it into the near side corner. Jimmies allowed to get to it. Suzinski, who scored the first goal for the Jimmies, brings it out. He'll come straight up the ice. Looks back over towards the right side, trying to find Chavez-Leach. Leach comes out right side. Venier coming up the ice. Quick centering pass for Wilson. And they had Chad Duran beat, but Wilson couldn't find the puck. Suzinski out high. The power play forming up for the University of Jamestown on the man advantage with 1:24 left to go of the power play. Suzinski high, back to Wilson, top of the near circle, sends it into the slot. Quick shot, fire goes wide. There was an opportunity out of the right circle for Venier. Out in front, Chavez-Leach banging at a rebounded puck. An attempt to reach for Duran. He couldn't get to it. And this puck will end up drifting back into the UJ zone off of a wink clear for Minot State. But UJ getting aggressive on their power play opportunities. They were all around the net in that sequence. Puck comes out near side. Jordan Robertson for Minot State. Gage Thompson now for UJ on the left point, trying to force the puck down low. It comes back to Robertson. He'll pitch it up into the neutral zone, and there's a rush as Doyle's able to get there for Minot State. He'll put on a little bit of pressure here, short-handed for the Beavers, forcing the puck back into the far corner. Aiden Potus has scored the last goal for the Jimmies, puts it back behind the net. Down to 30 seconds left of the University of Jamestown power play. Clark out at center, quarterbacking, comes off towards the near side. Huckeluck holding up a stick a little bit, and a complaint by Jordan Robertson saying he wasn't able to go free, and he had a complaint to make. Paluk knocks the puck out. Here's a 2-on-1, short-handed odd man. Robertson had an open net and fanned on the opportunity in the bottom of the right circle. had a great opportunity, a 2-on-1 shorthanded odd man rush. Rare to see something like that, but the breakdown allowed Minot State an opportunity, and they come up just empty. However, that 2-on-1 odd man killed off some power play time, and the Beavers do kill off the penalty. They're back to full strength. Loose puck, quick wrap around that stoned on a quick turn, and a stick save by Chad Duran. There was a great opportunity for Nathan Cohen-Wallace, who came around in a wraparound and had an opening, and Duran got back with a paddle to knock it free. Loose puck back up ice. Carter Barley coming up for Minot State. Loses it back towards the high slot. Barley trying to reel it in. Got it back towards Landon Cochran and then deflected loose back to the neutral zone. Soares back to get to it on the left wall for Minot State. He'll step back behind the net. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in this second period, and it's been an eventful one. We've seen 5 goals tallied, 3 penalties, including a 4th, if you want to call the penalty at the end of the period, going into the second period being enforced there. Wheeler comes up the ice for Minot State, loses the puck into the near side corner. Wowrick getting to it. He brings it back out in front, tried to put it on his backhand side, couldn't get it cleanly, but Cochran comes in, picks the pocket of a Jimmy, plays it back to O'Connor, right point. His shot from the point's deflected wide over to the far side wall. Cochran got it back on the far point, looks to play it down the near side boards. It comes loose to Carter Johnson on the UJ line, and Johnson will play it up the ice to facilitate a change. We've got a pile-up coming out of the change as Wowrick got tied up with Jamestown's Jordan Crom. We've got a loose stick. We've got an injured Jimmy on the end of that as well. In the meantime, a puck loose on the near side wall with Berggren for UJ. Comes back out in the neutral zone for Soar for Minot State. Soar got a touch on it. Now a whistle, and we have a penalty coming up here. I'm not sure what the penalty's going to be. May not even be a penalty at the end of this. Let's see. O'Connor and Ginger. O'Connor for Minot State. Ginger for UJ. Yes, we are going to see a penalty against the University of Jamestown. They're going to put Tyler Chavez Leach in the box. I'm not sure what they called here. The time of the penalty is going to be at 17 minutes and 46 seconds. And now it's Minot State that will go on the man advantage. But again, we'll have to wait and see what the penalty was. Looked like they might have called it, not a checking from behind. We'll see what the call was here. Dylan Cassie comes out with a puck on the right point for Minot State. He looks back over to the far side wall. Brendan Paluk. It's too many men. Okay, that's what we've got. So too many men on the ice, and Minot State will be on the power play for a too many men call. So the penalty will be a bench penalty. Chavez Leach apparently is going to be sent over to serve it. And so Minot State on the man advantage nearing the end of this second period. Paluk playing it back into the circle. Quick crossing pass. They had an angle there to find Grayson Neufeld. Neufeld couldn't find it. Cassie on the right point. He'll bring it back high. Drives a shot in, and right there, Tyson Brower on the back end of more traffic to come up with a stop. Tyson Brower has played very well for UJ today. He has taken, the scoreboard you wouldn't think shows it 4 goals on 29 shots, but you consider the 5-minute major, and not only that, but you consider the amount of traffic that Minot State has had in front of the net. The Jamestown defenders haven't done a great job of trying to clear that traffic out so far today and give their goalie an opportunity to see the puck on the way in. Doyle out in the high slot with 1:15 left on the power play. Doyle sends it back to the right side for Barley, then takes it back on the high slot, drifts a weak shot in, knocked down by Brower. It's loose, quick rebounded puck by Barley, stuck up over the crossbar. He tried to go top shelf, played it too high up into the webbing, and we'll see another draw coming up in the University of Jamestown zone with 1:03 left of the Beaver power play and 1:17 remaining in the second period. Landon Cochran, one of the top returners for Minot State from their team last year. Puck comes back out to Zor as Cochran was able to win the draw. Soar back to Doyle in the high slot, working back left, comes back to the right circle for Barley. Barley exchanges places with Doyle in the high slot, then hands it off for Zor as they flex out on top of the power play. Down into the far corner, puck with Cochran, back to Doyle. Out to the net now, a quick turn and fire, but a shot couldn't get away from Adam Wowrick cleanly. An attempt to clear, nice job as Popoff tried to clear it, but the Beavers hold it in. Down to the doorstep, and a chance was there, and a one-timer by Wowrick, and he just came up empty, fanning on the opportunity. Minot State got it where they wanted to. Wowrick makes a spin move, tries to drop it off for Cochran. It goes strong, but here comes another whistle, and it looks like another penalty. With 21 seconds left on Minot State's power play, and 35.3 seconds left. Minot State's going to the box. University of Jamestown's going to the box. Adam Rowrick is going in. Carter Johnson's going in. We're going to see a slashing penalty against Rowrick, and we're going to see a roughing penalty against Johnson. The penalties will come at 19 minutes and 24 seconds of the second period. So Rowrick will get a slashing call, and Johnson will take a roughing call for the University of Jamestown. And it looks like they're coincidental penalties, and so we'll play 5-on-4 remaining for the final 10 seconds of the power play for Minot State. The puck loose on the right side of the net. Justin Metcalf with 2 already, looking for 3 as he drifts out towards the far side half wall. Comes to a stop on the point. 15 seconds left of the period. Dylan Cassie coming in. A drive into traffic that's rebounded loose. Metcalf tries to reach down and pick it up. Wilson is there for the University of Jamestown, pinning it up against the boards. This will be backhand down the far side of the ice by Rhett Locke out in front. Time runs out as Tyson Brower reaches down and freezes the puck, and that's going to send us into our second intermission. Minot State and the University of Jamestown playing an active second period. 5 goals, 6 penalties were called throughout the second, a 7th if you want to include the penalty that came at the 20-minute mark of the opening period against Dylan Cassie for checking from behind. The period starts with a 5-minute major penalty for the University of Jamestown. They give up 2 minutes of it when Gage Thompson took a slashing call. And Metcalf scores on the 4-on-4, and then 4 even-strength goals. 2 by Jamestown, 2 by Minot State, and it's a 4-2 lead for the Beavers as we go to our second intermission this afternoon. Our intermission report brought to you by Premier Chiropractic, a chiropractic clinic focused on improving the health of Minot and the surrounding area through the most cutting-edge advances in natural health care today. Dr. Kirk Mason combines several techniques to decrease pain and improve function. Dr. Becky Perry-Domrey focuses on treating pediatrics and prenatal. At the end of 2 periods of play, your score is Minot State 4 and the University of Jamestown 2 on our First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. We'll go through the intermission summary and also take a look at that scoreboard from around high school football this afternoon, as well as many of the games should now be final, with teams moving on to the round of 8 at the 1A and 9-man levels, all coming up on our Premier Chiropractic intermission report next. This is Minot State Beaver Hockey on Pro Style Productions, PSP.
Nothing brings people together quite like a football game. As the summer months come to an end, at First Western Bank and Trust, we look forward to supporting our local football teams. Those Friday night lights, cheering on the players, and watching the game with friends and family, that's what fall is all about. As teamwork and perseverance drives each team to achieving their goals, we all wish players safety and the best of luck on the field this year. We'll be cheering you on. At First Western Bank and Trust, we aren't just here for you, we are you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an idiot to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
This presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Chiropractic, Clean Tech, Premier Movement, Tires Plus, 28 Tastes and Taps, Beaupre Law Firm, Homesteaders, Subway, First Western Bank and Trust, Arbo Photography, North Country Sportswear, 701 Realty, and Pro Style Production DJ Services.
With 28 on the shot clock. 53 on the game clock. Sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open. 4-3. On low. She scores.
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter @NetworkPSP and on Facebook @The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
Hi, this is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
Nothing brings people together quite like a football game. As the summer months come to an end, at First Western Bank and Trust, we look forward to supporting our local football teams. Those Friday night lights, cheering on the players, and watching the game with friends and family, that's what fall is all about. As teamwork and perseverance drives each team to achieving their goals, we all wish players safety and the best of luck on the field this year. We'll be cheering you on. At First Western Bank and Trust, we aren't just here for you, we are you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Second period saw the penalty sheet fill up, the score sheet fill up. A lot of action after a 1-0 lead was taken into the second period by Minot State. We come out with 5 goals of that second period, 3 of those going the way of the Beavers, and the Beavers have a 4-2 lead over the University of Jamestown on our First International Bank and Trust scoreboard as we get ready for our second intermission report. Brought to you by Premier Chiropractic, a chiropractic clinic focused on improving the health of Minot and the surrounding area through the most cutting-edge advances in natural health care today. Dr. Kirk Mason combines several techniques to decrease pain and improve function. Dr. Becky Perry Domries focuses on treating pediatrics and prenatal. As I mentioned, in a very busy period in the second, Minot State will lead by 2 going into the third. Let's take a look at our intermission summary. The period begins with a penalty being assessed to Dylan Cassie at the 20-minute mark of the first period. He took a checking from behind at the end of 1, and of course the administration happens to start the second, so he's in the box for 5, and the University of Jamestown down a goal starts off with a golden opportunity as they go on the 5-minute major penalty or major power play. However, a miscue. Gage Thompson takes a slashing penalty at 1:23 of the period, and that traded in 2 minutes of the 5-on-4 advantage that Jamestown was going to have, and it proved a bit costly, moving the thing back to 4-on-4. A minute and 20 seconds later, Justin Metcalf scores his second goal of the game. Another rebounded puck. He's been in the right place, right time a couple of times today. Landon Cochran coming in with a weak shot that was knocked away on a glove save by Tyson Brower. However, Justin Metcalf was there. He picked up the loose change and goes top shelf for his second goal today. It's Metcalf from Cochran, 4-on-4 at 2:45, and that gave Minot State a 2-0 lead at that point. And then we saw the activity pick up a little bit. First of all, we see a goal for Gage Suzinski. He finds a puck out in the left circle and just bangs home a slap shot. One of those that Chad Duran would probably want back. He saw that the entire way, but Suzinski just beats him one-on-one with a slap shot going up over the right shoulder. Even strength goal at 6:02. And that made it a 2-1 lead. Minot State's lead cut back to 1. 11 seconds later, however, Minot State would get back on the board, and this was a very busy, what turned out to be 19 seconds of hockey. So the goal for Suzinski at 6:02 all alone, and then we see Carter Barley coming up the ice. He gets a help. Second assist today for Landon Cochran, along with Paul O'Connor getting in on the scoring. Barley scores at 6:13, just 11 seconds later, just flipped the shot in on the left skate side of Tyson Brower. Even strength goal. That made it 3-1 Minot, and then right after Barley scored, 8 seconds later, he's on his way to the box. He gets called for interference, but nothing would come of that for the University of Jamestown, another power play opportunity. Minot State would get back on the board after a big hit was paid in on Jaeger Thiessen coming out on that fourth line, which has skated pretty well today for Minot State. Thiessen takes a big hit in his own end, but gets back up, comes back into the offensive end, grabs a puck off the left wall, darts in towards the net, makes a spinning backhand shot, and ends up going 5-hole on Tyson Brower for the fourth goal of the day for Minot State. They go up by a score of 4-1, even strength goal. That was Thiessen all by himself at 11:45, and then some more penalties come into play. Well, actually, correction, there would be one more goal before the penalties would come in. Aiden Potus comes up with a one-timer, and Potus made a fantastic shot of it again from the left side. Potus comes up with a one-time shot. Good assists on his entire line. Gage Thompson, Tyler Chavez Leach get the helpers on it, and Potus ramming home a one-timer out of the left circle. That caps the scoring and takes us to the 4-2 mark that we have right now, but we certainly weren't done. Blake Fournier takes a holding call at 14:08. Nothing comes out of that. Then Chavez Leach pays a visit to the bin after Jamestown was called for too many men at 17:46. Minot State does not score on that, and then at 19:40, or rather 24 of the period, we see coincidental minors. Adam Lowrick of Minot State called for slashing. Carter Johnson of the University of Jamestown called for roughing. Both of those at 19:24. They'll stay in the bin to start the third period. However, we'll be at even strength and full strength for both teams to start the third. But 5 goals in the period. Minot State scores on 4-on-4. They now have a power play goal and a 4-on-4 goal today, and they come up with a couple of even strength goals as well, and they lead by a score of 4-2 over the University of Jamestown going into the third. As far as the big days are concerned, Justin Metcalf 2 goals today. We mentioned that Landon Cochran's been all around it as well with a pair of assists so far this afternoon. Those are the multiple scorers today for Minot State, at least so far in this matchup. And again, the shots much more even today. Yesterday it was Minot 52, Jamestown 21, but as of right now, last report, it was 26-19. Minot State shots on goal advantage as we get ready to go into the third. So this one's been a little bit more even than it was down in Jamestown as far as the production is concerned, but as far as the score is concerned, last night it was a 1-1 draw. Right now, Minot State has a 2-goal lead at 4-2. That's your intermission summary, and it's brought to you by Premier Chiropractic. When we come back, a First International Bank and Trust scoreboard update. All of the scores from high school football around North Dakota are in. We had one matchup earlier today on PSP involving Surrey and Linton HMB. Scott Cattell had the call. We'll give you the result on that and what the bracket will look like going forward as we continue with our intermission report next here at Mesa Arena. It's Minot State 4, the University of Jamestown 2. This is Minot State Beaver Hockey on Pro Style Productions, PSP.
Planet Pizza. Systems go for lunch break when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
This presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Chiropractic, Clean Tech, Premier Movement, Tires Plus, 28 Tastes and Taps, Beaupre Law Firm, Homesteaders, Subway, First Western Bank and Trust, Arbo Photography, North Country Sportswear, 701 Realty, and Pro Style Production DJ Services.
With 28 on the shot clock, 53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3. On low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter @NetworkPSP and on Facebook @The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
Welcome back to Mesa here in the Pepsi Rink. Minot State University leading the University of Jamestown 4-2 after 2 periods of play as we continue with our intermission report brought to you today by Premier Chiropractic. Premier Chiropractic is a chiropractic clinic focused on improving the health of Minot and the surrounding area with the most cutting-edge advancements in natural health care today. Dr. Kirk Mason combines several techniques to decrease pain and improve function, and Dr. Becky Perry-Domries focuses on treating pediatrics and prenatal. 5 goals in that second period. Minot State scored 3 of them and leads 4-2 as we go into the third period. The shots on goal advantage 31-23, just to update that number, in favor of Minot State, but a little bit more even on the shot production than it was yesterday. Our first International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Let's run it down for you today. Earlier today on PSP, high school playoff football at the 9-man level, I believe it was, between Surrey and Linton HMB. Let's go there before we go into the 1A football scores. We had some of those from around the local area today as well. But Surrey, Linton, Hazelden, Moffett, Braddock lining up for football today. And what was an eventful day for Linton HMB. They lost the trailer off of their bus coming into Surrey that contained all of their equipment. They had to go back and get it. It rolled into a ditch down by Moffett, but they went back and picked it up. And in the end, Linton makes it a trip that pays. They go on the road and win today, knocking off Surrey by a score of 24-6. Their next opponent will be Towner Granville Upham, so back right up in this part of the state again. A little bit further to the west for Linton coming up next week. They'll take on TGU after TGU defeated Grant County Flasher 42-28. Other scores at the 9-man football level. The top seed Cavalier 48-28 win over Tri-State. Mayport CG survives a shootout with North Prairie today in Mayville 60-52. Beach with a 34-0 win over Divide County today. And Beach will take on Kidder County, last year's defending state champions. That game likely to be played in Steele as Kidder County gets the win over Ray Powers Lake today by a score of 44-26. North Border defeats Wyomere Lidgerwood 24-6, and North Border will advance to take on Lemoore Litchfield Marion. One of the more unfortunate stories in the 9-man football playoffs. Lemoore Litchfield Marion did not play today. Their opponent, St. John, the Woodchucks, had to drop out of the playoffs due to coronavirus, and so because of that, Lemoore Litchfield Marion advances by way of a bye. In the 1A football playoffs today from around the immediate area, Minot Bishop Ryan with a 40-18 win over Kildare, and Bishop Ryan will go to Bismarck next week to take on Shiloh Christian. Shiloh Christian defeated Kenmare by a score of 32-0 today. The top seed Langdon, no problem with Thompson, 43-6. They get Oaks next week in Langdon as Oaks knocks off Carrington 36-0. That's going to be one heck of a matchup. Lisbon 38-24 winners today in Lisbon over Harvey Wells County. They get Grafton next up as Grafton defeats Sargent County today by a final score of 42-12. Earlier today, Velva knocks off Bowman County by a score of 28-20. And the final matchup will take place tonight in Dickinson at the Bijou Activities Center as Dickinson Trinity will host Nedrose. That matchup will take place in Dickinson. That's set for a 6 o'clock local time kickoff, 7 o'clock where we are. A rare playoff game under the lights in high school football, but that does happen from time to time if you're playing in a college stadium. And that is a look at your first International Bank and Trust scoreboard. We come back for period number 3 action next. Minot State leading the University of Jamestown 4-2 as we continue our Premier Chiropractic intermission report. Period number 3 is on the way next here on PSP Pro Style Production.
Hi, this is Kevin Biggestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We want to wish all student athletes good luck this season, and may the friendships you make and lessons you learn last a lifetime. At First International Bank and Trust, we're more than a bank. We're a family, a partner in the community where we live and work. We're proud of all that you are accomplishing and can't wait to see what your future holds. Good luck to all the teams. First International Bank and Trust, live first.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
Third period about to begin. Minot State University leading the University of Jamestown a score of 4-2 on our First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Thank you for joining us for our premier chiropractic intermission report. We get ready for the third to begin. Each team with a player in the box, but the teams will skate at full strength. And here we go with period number 3. Jamestown down a pair of goals. They have some trouble to try to make up for it. Down by a score of 4-2. Minot State digging for a puck in their own zone. Off the opening draw, Jordan Robertson and Davis Sheldon on the near side wall. It's Robertson breaking out. Justin Metcalf back to Robertson, crashing the slot, sends a backhander wide. Picked up off the wall by Sheldon on the left. He'll turn it back towards the corner. Metcalf pressuring in the corner against Bo Cornell, and this will be thrust up into the seats. And we'll see a draw coming up in the UJ zone. When shopping for tires, shop Tires Plus. All brands under one roof with the guaranteed lowest prices. And check this out, there's service after the sale with the Tires Plus plan. Simply put, Tires Plus is in a different league. Visit them online, TiresPlusND.com. That's TiresPlusND.com. Beavers win the draw in the Jimmy zone. Top of the near circle, Landon Cochran trying to crash in. Got to the high slot, turned around, back pedals out towards the near wall. Turns it back into the corner, trying to hook up with Blake Fournier off that fourth line. Maybe mixing and matching a little bit here. Fournier is going to skate with Carter Bailey out of the ice and Landon Cochran. So Fournier moving himself up a little bit on the leaderboard. He skated with the fourth line to get started, but the captain of the team, a quick drive in and a shot by Barley at point-blank range. Just missed it, but Fournier will pick up the garbage off the far wall. Back to Fournier in the circle, trying to dance one down, and he'll be cut off by Morgan Venet for Jamestown, and the Jimmies will bring it back out to the neutral zone. This will be cleared up by Jordan Popoff down the near side wall. Scoots back to Venet in the far corner. And now a bit of a physical matchup going on back behind the net where Rhett Locke is able to win control of the puck and works out to Carter Barley. Barley up to the neutral zone on the left side, skates wide of the circle, fires a shot wide as well, rings off the far wall, comes back out to Berggren for the University of Jamestown. Berggren coming up the ice, trying to change sides with Justin Dumont. Goes wide of the wall, puck comes back to the near side, Doyle catching up with it. Back to Dumont for Jamestown on his own line, turns it back to the far boards, and Rhett Locke will pick it up for the Beavers. Johannesson into the neutral zone for Minot State. Picks it out of the circle, trying to widen out towards some empty space on the far wall. Drops it back to Doyle on the near edge. Doyle going rink wide, trying to catch up with Grayson Neufeld off the far boards. Neufeld plays it back into the far corner. Vladislav Zamitsky gives chase, instead turns into a wraparound for Johannesson. Good stick by Tyson Brower, came out to defend that weak side. Doyle plays it out in front. It squeaks through everyone. Johannesson picks it up on the line. Turns it back to Dylan Cassie. A blast from the right point that goes wide. Back to Johannesson. Puts it out into the heart of the slot between the hashes. Works into the far corner. Puck still loose over there, and we'll see a whistle as Dylan Cassie played it back out to neutral ice. We've got an injured Beaver, and it's Johannesson on the near side. Wade Johannesson, who gets up and is going to go gingerly over to the Minot State bench. Johannesson, a Selkirk Steeler out of the Manitoba League. One of the top returning defenders from a year ago. They returned 3 men with a lot of production for Minot State. Johannesson was one of those, 14 points a season ago. The top returner for Minot State, Adam Wowrick, skating off the second line today. 31 goals and 47 points last year. Davis Sheldon with 45 points anchoring that first line, and that first line is going to be a good one. Those first two are both going to be good ones, as a wrist shot that Brower will go up and glove and holds on for the whistle. Davis Sheldon, 45 points. Jordan Robertson, 28 points. Justin Metcalf, 29 a year ago, and Metcalf with 2 goals today. We'll see a draw coming up in the Jamestown zone, left circle, with 17:36 left in the third period. 4-2, Minot State leading by 2. Puck on the far side boards. Connor Schuster trying to get to it. Loses it back in the neutral zone. Paluk is back to cut it off. Minot State with a definite speed advantage today, and they're playing with the man back right now. It looks like they're going to sag a man back defensively. Little neutral zone trap with a 2-goal lead here in the third. It can be obviously a very solid tool to play, or it can be a nightmare, that 2-goal lead trying to defend it. We'll see how it works out with a little change of pace here for the Beavers. Cornell on the right point has a shot deflected wide. This comes back to Thiessen, who's got one today. He drives in left circle, fires, and a good knee pad save is made by Brower. It comes back loose to the far side wall. Picked up off the boards, a shot from long range that time. That was guided in from Carter Johnson. Or correction, not Carter Johnson. That was guided in by Eric Soar. And that goes wide. Back out into the neutral zone. Sheldon will pick it up for the Beavers as Jamestown changes up. Robertson left side wall. Comes in the near circle, draws a double team. Tried to step through it. Ends up losing the puck off the boards. Gage Thompson digs for it for Jamestown. It comes back to the point. O'Connor picks it up. High slot. Fires a shot in. Brower again tracks one through just a sea of traffic in between the hash marks and comes up with a glove save. Dean Stork, the head coach of the Jimmies, a product out of Massachusetts Amherst, over on the far bench. He's got to be wondering how he goes about getting his team to clear out the space in front of Brower, because Brower has seen 37 shots today, made 33 saves, but in the process, he's seen so many bodies float in front of him that it's been difficult to pick up the puck. You've seen him make very late reactions, but he's kept his team in this as the Jamies will ice the puck off the draw, and we'll come back into the Jamestown zone with 16:22 left to go of the third period. Get COVID-19 deep cleaning services for your home or business with Clean Tech LLC. This proactive deep cleaning service includes disinfecting and sanitizing. Don't forget about Clean Tech's 24/7 disaster response and restoration services. Visit them online at cleantechllc.us. Clean Tech, coming to the rescue since 1922. Also worth noting, our official who went down earlier in the game with an injury. We had an official that went down with an injury in the second period. He has not returned to the game either, so we're still with a 3-man crew after one of our referees went down with a knee injury after being on the back end of a check on the near side wall. Puck for Minot State in the zone. Soar trying to play it down the far side boards. Cut off by Jordan Popoff. He tried to clear it, got it back out to the line for Tyler Chavez-Leach. Chavez-Leach will play it back to the neutral zone, and now the Beavers over to cut it off. Landon Cochran near side wall for Barley. Barley will step up into the offensive end with Cochran and Wowrick waiting for him to stay on side. Puck knocked away loose. Morgan Venet comes away with it for the Jimmies and plays it down to the right corner. Venet left it back behind the Minot State net. Venet picks one off, and a quick one-timer by Nathan Cohen-Wallace. He was out all by himself in no man's land with a great look, and a quick defensive close clashes his stick and keeps him away from a wide-open shot at point-blank range. Jake Bukulik will take it back out over on the far side boards. Puts it back behind the net looking for Eric Soar. Comes off the wall to Doyle for Minot State. Doyle goes rink wide, finding Johannesson. Good to see him back out there after taking an injury of his own. 3-on-2 odd man, Johannesson in. Weak backhanded shot, may have hit the side of the cage. Goes loose into the far corner and pursued by Nick Doyle. He comes back to the high slot with control of the puck. Out on top, Cassie puts one over the bar. Comes off the back wall strong into the far corner. Picked up by Carter Barley. Barley got held up, and we've got another big fight going on, and this one's got some punches. Doyle's had enough. He threw a headlock in on Dumont. Dumont and Doyle wrestling away on the right side of the Jimmy net. The linesmen come in, one linesman, one referee trying to separate those two, but Doyle and Dumont have had it, and they're both going to take the luxurious stroll over to the bin and sit a spell. Doyle had a pretty good headlock on Dumont, didn't quite finish it. That could have been a 5-point move for Doyle. If you're a wrestling fan, you know what we're talking about. Doyle goes in, Dumont goes in, and I think what they've done here is they're going to call a double minor on both of these guys, if I'm not mistaken. They're going to get them both for roughing, and then I think they'll get them for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. They've put up minor penalties so far on both Dumont and Doyle, but we'll see. It looked like they put 4 up, and so we'll wait for the announcement. Might be a 2 and 10 or a 2 and a misconduct type of thing. We'll wait for the announcement of it. Boar Cornell comes into the offensive end with a puck for the University of Jamestown and will be offside. We'll come back out into the neutral zone for a draw. 1:53 left on the penalties. They're coincidental. They are not coincidental. We're going to skate 4-on-4. That was the 4. Okay, so 2-minute minors for both, but instead of 5-on-5 skating, we're going to skate 4-on-4. Minot State has scored on the 4-on-4 so far today. So they'll announce the penalties, and it's 4-on-4 skating. Johannesson coming away with a puck from Minot State, loses it. Suzinski for the University of Jamestown. He tries a wrister from the left point and puts that one well up into the netting, and we'll see a draw coming up in the Minot State zone. The time of the penalties, I didn't really register those, so we'll go ahead and do that. Time of the penalties are going to be at 5:09 of the third period, and Doyle and Dumont will both go in for roughing. So simultaneous penalties, but we're going to skate 4-on-4 as those took place while the puck was still live rather than after a play was taken care of. Nathan Metcalf coming up into the offensive end. Quick turn and fire off the right side. He set up Davis Shelton, and Shelton came up just empty. Correction, Justin Metcalf on it. Those two have skated so well today, and that time Metcalf tried to help out his line mate for a good chance, and just a bit offline for Davis Shelton. 45 points a year ago. Looking for an opportunity to crack into the scoreboard today and was just a little bit offline. 6 minutes into this third period, still 4-2 on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard, with Minot State on top by a pair of goals. Up ice draw coming near side for Braden Paluk, trying to command a lot of ice as a defenseman and get his team into a good 4-on-4 offensive situation. O'Connor on the near side board, trying to play down the wall. That's cut off by Andrew Clark for the University of Jamestown. O'Connor puts Clark into the wall, disrupts the puck. It'll go loose in the neutral zone. Carter Johnson picks it up along the checker line, turns his way back towards his own line, and now fires up the near side boards. This will ring in behind the Minot State net. Duran over to pick it up, plays it back off near side. Here comes Thiessen on the rush for Minot State. 20 seconds left to 4-on-4 skating. Thiessen drops it off on the point. Soar will play it back down the wall. Robertson camped out, pulled down from behind to the left of the Jimmy net. It works back behind the net. Suzinski will pick it up for the University of Jamestown. 13 minutes to play, 8 seconds left on the minor penalties, one each side. Skating 4-on-4 should come to an end, and both teams are now back to full strength as Carter Johnson bats a puck up into the seats on the far side of the arena. We'll bring a draw out, I believe, into the neutral zone. Let's wait and see where this is going to take place. This looks like it's going to go on the Minot State line for the next draw. Arbo Photography is the leader in in-game photo coverage and senior pictures. The proof is in the gallery. Find Arbo Photography on Facebook and Instagram or online. ARBAUTphotography.com. That's ARBAUTphotography.com. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Cornell will play it down the near wall for the University of Jamestown. 12:40 left to go in the third period. 4-2. Beavers on top. A 5-goal second period. The Beavers scored 3 times in the second and scored on a power play goal back in the first on a 5-minute major. And now a little more activity after the whistle out in front of the net. O'Connor for Minot State. Dragged down Nathan Cohen-Wallace for the University of Jamestown. Cohen-Wallace wants him some. He's pulled away by a Beaver. And that Beaver that pulled him away looks like he's going to do a stint in the bin as well. I believe it's Nick Doyle who served a penalty already this period on the roughing penalties, and Doyle saying what happened. He's going into the box, and this is going to net the University of Jamestown a power play. So Doyle's second period or penalty of the period. This one will come at 7 minutes 31 seconds. And let's see what it's going to be. The officials are going to talk about it. Doyle's in the box. They're putting another Beaver in the box. O'Connor's going to go in as well. So the officials will talk it over, but for right now, it looks like Minot's down a pair of men. The door is open on the Jamestown side, however, and they're going to go over and get a Jimmy off the bench and send him in as well. Nathan Cohen-Wallace is going to go in as well. So all of these penalties will come at 7:31 of the period. And our officials are going to explain the penalties to our captains. And if the math stands up, it's going to be a 4-on-3 power play for Jamestown. As of right now, the only penalty that they put up is Doyle, 2 minutes. This may be 5-on-4. So Doyle's going in for 2 minutes for sure. That much we know on the board. We'll have to wait for the announcement of the penalties to take place, but it looks like it'll be a power play, but it won't be 4-on-3. It'll be 5-on-4. They're going to get Doyle for a penalty, and then O'Connor and Cohen Wallace. O'Connor for Minot State, Cohen Wallace for Jamestown for coincidental penalties after the play had come to an end. So they'll serve their time, but it won't have an effect on the personnel on the ice other than their absence. So 5-on-4 power play for the University of Jamestown. They need a goal in the worst way. They're down 2. One would change the complexion of the game. Andrew Clark on the high slot, gets it back, fires a one-timer, deflected. Connor Schuster took it off the hip, and it comes back out into the neutral zone. Clark retreats back into his own end to try to set up the play with Gage Thompson. It works back to Jake Huckaluck. He'll come right side. Berggren with a chance that goes wide. Thompson, actually POTUS, able to hold it in the zone. We're getting the announcement of the penalties. Cohen Wallace goes in for unsportsmanlike conduct. I'm assuming that's what they're going to get O'Connor for as well. Back out on top, Huckaluck to the left side. POTUS a drive from the left wall. POTUS picks up his own rebound, sends that wide, and it will drift back into the near side corner. A battle there. Gage Thompson able to free it for Jamestown. Brings it back to Clark. This has been a good power play cycle for the University of Jamestown. They've kept a lot of pressure on in this latest power play sequence. Finally, Minot State able to clear. Rhett Locke is pushing it back down the ice. So the penalties will go roughing for Nick Doyle at 7:31, and then coincidental unsportsmanlike conduct penalties for Nathan Cohen Wallace of Jamestown and Paul O'Connor for Minot State. Those were unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Those came coincidental and after the play. Marquez Ginger up in the offensive end for the University of Jamestown. Spins it off to Tyler Chavez Leach in the right corner. Morgan Venet coming back out. Power play continues with 30 seconds left of the Jimmy man advantage. Off the far side, Ginger stepping away from pressure. Comes back near side, Suzinski taking a look from the point. Back down to Venet in the corner. He puts it out in front. There was a dribbler there taken by Chavez Leach. He ends up mishitting it, and it will be cleared by Minot State. Davis Shelton clears it up the far side wall, and we'll see a whistle. A puck was played with a high stick by the Jimmies. That's going to retreat it back into the University of Jamestown zone, and Minot State, with a win of a draw, can kill off this Jimmy power play. Takes us down to 10:40 left to go of the third period. 28 Taste and Taps is now open. If you're hungry, you'll leave satisfied, guaranteed. A unique menu that will have your mouth watering. Open 7 days a week and located on South 16th Street. 28 Taste and Taps. A family restaurant that's locally owned. Jimmy spray the draw back out into the neutral zone. Back to get it, Dylan Cassie for Minot State. Sends it back to the neutral zone himself, and Minot State's back to full strength as O'Connor and Doyle for Minot State have served their penalties along with Cohen Wallace for the University of Jamestown. Halfway through the third period, the Jimmies down by 2 to the Beavers at 4-2. A quick turn. Cochran trying to pick up a crossing pass. Denied by the Jimmies. Carter Johnson comes away with control. Johnson, long-range shot from the right point. Duran tried to make a glove stop on it. Lost track of the puck. It ends up behind him and back off the back wall. Cochran near side against Dumont. Puck goes loose. Barley picks it up. Barley dragging to his backhand side. Fires, and a big glove save by Tyson Brower. That was a terrific play by Carter Barley. Dragged it to his backhand side. Made a great shot of it, but Brower was able to stay with it and deflects it off the top of the webbing and sends it back into the corner. Out in front now, a dribbling shot that goes just wide from Adam Wawrick. A centering pass back out to the high slot, but it's cut off by the Jimmies. Carter Johnson plays it back into the Minot State zone, and the Jimmies will change up behind it. 9.5 minutes left to go here in the third period. Beavers leading by a score of 4-2, looking for their third victory in 4 tries this season after a draw last night in Jamestown that they won in a shootout. Puck back out into the neutral zone. Berggren brings it up into the offensive end for the Jimmies, but lost control of the puck. Wade Johannesson cuts it off for Minot State. Looking to take it back behind the net, floats off his stick. Berggren there for UJ in the right corner. Played it back out high, puck deflected loose, comes to Benet back out on the line. Long range shot from the point. point that's deflected. Loose out on the high slot, and a turn, able to get to it for Minot State was Jaeger Thiessen, who has a goal so far today. He loses it off the near wall. Pop off up into the offensive end for the Jimmies, plays it over into the corner, where Berggren will take it in the offensive end, down low on the right. It'll be turned back out towards the near side and cut off again by Thiessen, down to an E, trying to clear. Got it to Connor Schuster on the neutral zone, then cut off and forced back into the Minot State end again, but down to 8:30 to play here in the third period. I believe we get a media stoppage coming up on the next dead puck. It comes back out in the neutral zone. Cornell with Chavez Leach behind him, sends it back into his own zone. Suzinski able to make the play for the Jimmies. Gage Thompson out in the neutral zone, got turned around on some good pressure by Grayson Neufeld off the body. Wowrick comes up into the offensive end, turns it back into the corner, got around Cornell. A stop back behind the net, looking to play the 3-on-3 game, men on each post. Turned it back out towards the right side, trying to find Grayson Neufeld. That was deflected. Gage Thompson pressured from behind by O'Connor. 2-on-2 on the outside of the near circle. They battle for control out of the corner. It works back to Wowrick in the corner, and now Suzinski takes it away for the University of Jamestown behind his net. Jimmy still down 2. A score of 4-2. Minot State with the lead. Down to 7:40 left to go in the third period. Chavez Leach trying to play it through the neutral zone. Sends it back towards the near corner. Carter Johnson comes away with it. Spins back out towards the near side wall. A turn, a crossing pass down on the knee. Athletic play. Couldn't quite get the pressure he was looking for. He had a couple of men there. They couldn't hook up. Robertson towards the near side. A drive in. Nice stop on the stick save. Davis Shelton crashing the net strong. Tyson Brower goes down and makes another stop. That'll be the 40th shot today for Minot State. Out on top, Justin Metcalf plays it off Johannesson. Shot trickles through. Brower steps out, freezes that after kicking it aside to the right pipe. And we'll see a stoppage with 7:08 left to go here in the third period. We'll have a media stoppage with 7:08 remaining here in the third. Minot State with a 2-goal lead over the University of Jamestown. It's the Beavers 4, the Jimmies 2 on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. This is Beaver Hockey from Mesa Arena on Pro Style Productions, PSP.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
Media stoppage with 7:08 left to go in the third period. Minot State continues to lead the University of Jamestown by a score of 4-2. Beaver Hockey today from Mesa Arena. When shopping for tires, shop Tires Plus. All brands under one roof with the guaranteed lowest prices. And check this out, there's service after the sale with the Tires Plus plan. Simply put, Tires Plus is in a different league. Visit them online, TiresPlusND.com. That's TiresPlusND.com. Dylan Cassie for Minot State back into the neutral zone. Metcalf off the near side wall. Off for Johannesson. Minot State showed a look of a neutral zone trap to start the third period. They may be getting back into it. There have been some issues setting it up because of the ragtag stoppages of play and the pressure back and forth due to the penalties that have been called. But playing again with the defender back, trying to create that little trap in the neutral zone and defend this 2-goal lead. They lead it by a score of 4-2. 6.5 to play here in the third period. Minot State now with an odd man 4-on-2 rush. Johannesson coming up the ice. Wilson pressures a loose puck for the Jimmies, and it got turned over by Minot State. Aiden Potus comes away with control and sends it back up into the neutral zone. Grayson Neufeld cuts it off for the Beavers, looks back behind his own net, and it'll be Braden Paluk that comes back out towards the side, then comes to a stop and waits for Landon Cochran to come back and recharge the rush up ice. Cochran will dump it into the left corner. Pressure for it with Popoff getting to it off the wall, but Cochran got there quickly. Puck comes back out to the side. Chavez Leach cut it off, finds Gage Thompson up in the neutral zone for the Jimmies, and now Thompson has a 3-on-2 to work with if he hurries, but he was pressured into the far wall. Good defensive presence by Austin Wheeler, who puts him into the boards. Back out on top, Thompson between the hash marks, looking for Marquez Ginger. He lost the puck behind him. Carter Barley comes away with it, and now we've got another one going on. This is Ginger with a couple of punches in, and now a headlock thrown in, and Ginger gets spun to the ice out of a good headlock throw by Braden Paluk. They're playing the Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting theme here at the arena, the Nickelback version. It's what the University of North Dakota opens up their Saturday night events with, usually at Ralph Engelstad Arena. Let's hope we can get back to that. Let me make a correction. That was not Paluk. That was Adam Raurik that was involved in his second one, and Raurik's going down to the tunnel. He's done. So Raurik's going to get a game misconduct. Ginger's going into the tunnel as well. He's done. That's going to be the end of the night for Ginger and for Wallrick. Just a couple of good headlocks. I mean, there weren't a lot of punches there, but I think our officials who saw a big sort of brouhaha, not with punches, but with pushing and shoving at the end of the first period, kind of saw this happening early, and they want to shut it down before it gets any further down the line. Chavez Leach for Jamestown over to talk things over with our linesman, along with Davis Sheldon for Minot State. And we're going to skate 4-on-4, I believe is the call. I think they're going to get him for unsportsmanlike conduct. If I'm reading the lips of our linesman correctly, it'll be coincidental unsportsmanlike conduct. It'll be enforced at 5:38 of the period. And we're going to skate 4-on-4, but it looks like they've thrown a couple of game misconducts, or have they not? No, Jamestown is going to be penalized here. This is going to be a power play. Chavez Leach is going to come over and serve the penalty. Well, now they've taken the penalty off the board. They've got Adam Raurick going in, and they've got the Jimmy sending in Marquez Ginger. So those are the two men that were involved, but they're going to have to serve the penalty. So Connor Schuster will come over and serve the penalty for Minot State, and Chavez Leach, Tyler Chavez Leach, will serve the penalty for the University of Jamestown. But in the end, both Marquez Ginger and Adam Raurick hit the showers. So their nights are over. We're going to skate 4-on-4. That's the second time tonight that we've seen 4-on-4 skating come out of coincidental penalties, and a little odd that it's being enforced that way, but it's been enforced that way twice. So happening in the field of play, you could say, versus after a play is over. So they're deciding to go down to 4-on-4 rather than 5-on-5. And again, while it's good for Minot State, I think, to skate 4-on-4, they've got a bit of a speed advantage. It gets them out of their neutral zone trap that they wanted to use to defend this 2-goal lead, and that's probably not something they were planning on skating a lot of here in this period. But it's 4-on-4 nonetheless, and the Beavers coming up into the neutral zone with a puck. It's Austin Wheeler leading the charge, sprays a shot wide, comes off the wall to Justin Metcalf. Metcalf got turned around on the outside of the circle. Carter Johnson comes up with it off the wall and finds Gage Suzinski, who will play it up the left-hand wall. They're announcing the penalties, so Wallrick and Ginger, unsportsmanlike conduct, or it'll be a 10-minute misconduct, not a game misconduct, but it's going to take them out of the game unless this thing were to go to overtime. So again, it was not a game misconduct. It was 10-minute misconduct penalties that were called against Marquez Ginger of the University of Jamestown and Adam Raurick of Minot State. 2-minute minors along with 10-minute misconducts. But unless the University of Jamestown comes back to tie this thing up, that effectively ends the game for both Ginger and Raurick. We'll see. O'Connor picks up a puck off of a long shot that was thrown in on Duran. He kicked it aside rather easily. Puck comes out to Carter Barley in the neutral zone. Barley widening out towards the near side wall. Knocked down by Popoff. Pretty good play there by Popoff, but it looks like he'll be hit for a tripping penalty. Here's a delayed call, and Minot State brings the extra attacker on the ice. A puck goes free into the far corner, so now we're skating 5-on-4 with Minot State with the extra attacker on the ice. Jamestown will finally touch it up as Aiden Potus got a stick on it. And the University of Jamestown is going to go back into the box with some jawing between Carter Barley and who will be the penalized skater, Jordan Popoff for Jamestown. I believe he got him with a tripping penalty. So Popoff goes in on a minor penalty. Time of the penalty will be at 16 minutes and 8 seconds. And Minot State's going on the power play with 3:52 to go here in the third period. One more for the Beavers would effectively end this one. A 4-2 lead on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. And Minot State with one more in the man advantage would pretty much seal this up. Get the announcement of the penalty here against Jordan Popoff. It was a tripping call against Popoff. So Popoff for tripping at 16:08. And Minot State is on the power play to try to wrap this one up today. Puck on the near side. Paluk trying to get a weak shot away on the near side point. Deflected and kicked wide. Loose puck to Nathan Cohen-Wallace out of the box after serving a penalty for his teammate Marquez Ginger. And Cohen-Wallace's shot rins off to the far side wall. It'll be grabbed up by the Beavers and brought back up ice. On the near side, Sheldon with it going down to the corner and looking for Rhett Locke, who gets an opportunity to skate on the power play now for the Beavers. Locke coming back into the corner, works back off the wall, crossing pass intended to the right point for Dylan Cassie. Cassie turned around by Carter Johnson. Cohen-Wallace has a 2-on-1 odd man, tries to make the crossing pass. Terrific play, selfless play for Minot State by Braden Paluk, who went low to disrupt that crossing pass, and instead Minot State comes away with a 3-on-2 of their own. They end up losing the puck, but will go back into the zone to get it. You can't overstate that play by Braden Paluk, who denies the crossing pass on the 2-on-1 odd man. If Jamestown comes up and scores shorthanded, back to a 1-goal game, and you start to grip the stick a little bit tighter at that point, but that was a big play by Paluk to defend a 2-goal lead. Doyle back out in the neutral zone for Minot State, comes down the near side wall, comes off hard. Brower wasn't expecting that type of a rebound off the boards, took him by surprise. The puck comes back out towards the right point, picked up there by Eric Soar. He'll come back to Doyle. Doyle quarterbacking the power play out high. Looks to the right side. Found Landon Cochran out in front. A drive towards the net. Cochran picks up the loose puck again. Brings it back to the near side point for Soar. Final 10 seconds of the man advantage for Minot State. Doyle drifts back out into the neutral zone. Works his way back towards the circle. Tried to play a weak shot towards the high slot. Has it deflected back to himself. He'll play it off the glass near side and dumps it in for Blake Fournier back behind the net. A crash of the net here by Cochran. The puck's loose out on top. Comes back to Jake Huckaluck, and here comes Jamestown 2-on-2. Reed Wilson on the right side, back to Huckaluck. He lost the puck. Carter Barley turns it away. Gets roughed up as he got to the checkered line by Morgan Venet. Loose puck grabbed by Cochran and dumped down the near side wall with 1:25 left to go of the third period. Minot State continuing to lead 4-2, trying to run this one out, grab their third win, and get a win and a draw in the home-and-home weekend against the University of Jamestown after drawing 1-1 with the Jimmies last night down in Jamestown. Puck back behind the net, taken by Dylan Cassie. Cassie stepping out towards the near side boards. A rush up ice for Braden Paluk. He'll put it back into the neutral zone, deflected wide. Comes back to Justin Metcalf. The net's empty. Metcalf taking a look in. A little backhanded shot deflected wide. Jamestown got Chavez Leach back to take away an empty net opportunity. So the extra attackers on the ice for Jamestown, down a pair of goals with 40 seconds left to go in the matchup. Paluk taking a look. Metcalf had a chance at the hat trick with the empty net up the ice, and he decided to give it up on a pass. That's been good for Justin Metcalf after scoring too early. He's been trying to get his teammates involved. Down to 30 seconds. Little backhanded play out on top. Clark steers the puck loose. Comes back to Garrison on the right side. Garrison back to the top for Popoff. He'll come to Clark on the right point. Clark trying to get a shot free, and the Beavers are able to deflect that. Loose puck comes back out on top. Clark dials up a one-timer, leaves it wide of the net. Chavez Leach will pick it up, turns it back to Popoff in the far corner. We're down to 5 seconds to go. Clark can't get a shot away. Minot State's winning it. Down to 2, down to 1, and the Beavers have got a 4-2 victory. Minot State with a 4-2 win. A huge third period of scoring for the Beavers. They scored 3 goals in the period. 5 goals were registered during that third period of play. A penalty-ridden day, which happens quite often on the back end of a home-and-home weekend. But Minot State comes home after 52 shots last night, netted them just 1 goal. Today they pick up 4, and they win it by a final score of 4-2. And that will take us into our post-game report. Our post-game report will be brought to you by Tires Plus. When shopping for tires, shop Tires Plus. All brands under one roof with the guaranteed lowest prices. And check this out, there's service after the sale with the Tires Plus plan. Simply put, Tires Plus is in a different league. Visit them online, TiresPlusND.com. We'll come back with a post-game wrap-up on this one and get you into your night with the Minotauros on the ice. Coming up next, your final score, Minot State 4, the University of Jamestown 2. This is Minot State Beaver Hockey on Pro Style Productions, PSP.
Nothing brings people together quite like a football game. As the summer months come to an end, at First Western Bank and Trust, we look forward to supporting our local football teams. Those Friday night lights, cheering on the players, and watching the game with friends and family, that's what fall is all about. As teamwork and perseverance drives each team to achieving their goals, we all wish players safety and the best of luck on the field this year. We'll be cheering you on. At First Western Bank and Trust, we aren't just here for you, we are you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by Planet Pizza, Premier Chiropractic, Clean Tech, Premier Movement, Tires Plus, 28 Tastes and Taps, Beaupre Law Firm, Homesteaders, Subway, First Western Bank and Trust, Arbo Photography, North Country Sportswear, 701 Realty, and Pro Style Production DJ Services.
With 28 on the shot clock, 53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3, on low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter, @NetworkPSP, and on Facebook, @The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
We welcome you back to Mesa Arena, where your final score this afternoon is Minot State University 4, the University of Jamestown 2. Ryan Cunningham with you for Pro Style Productions PSP today. My sincere thanks to Nick Holberg, who could not be here today, for allowing me to be his guest host today. Thanks to all of you that are Minot State and University of Jamestown fans for viewing today here on Pro Style Productions. We had a good one. 4-2, your final score. Minot State gets the win with the win. Minot State is now 3-0-1-1. 3 wins, no losses, a draw, and an overtime win. And the University of Jamestown will drop on down to no wins, 2 losses, 3 draws, and 2 overtime losses. They will not get any overtime wins, so their overall record would be, again, no wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws. Their 2 losses so far this year will go to Iowa State 3-2, and then here today to the Beavers by a score of 4-2. As we go into our post-game report today, a reminder once again before we get to our post-game summary. Our post-game summary is brought to you by Clean Tech LLC. Get COVID-19 deep cleaning services for your home or business with Clean Tech LLC. This proactive deep cleaning service includes disinfecting and sanitizing, and don't forget about Clean Tech's 24/7 disaster response and restoration services. Visit them online, cleantechllc.us. Clean Tech, coming to the rescue since 1992. Scoring summary today, a 5-minute major that's taken by the University of Jamestown's Jordan Crom at 11:29 of the opening period. And credit the Jimmies, they killed off 4 minutes and 8 seconds of the 5-minute major, but Justin Metcalf gets his first goal of the day, first of 2. Nick Doyle with a weak shot. Metcalf picked up the loose change and scores on a tap-in out of the air to make it 1-0 on a power play goal, and it was 1-0 after 1. We go into the second, and Dylan Cassie took a checking from behind penalty for Minot State at the end of the first period at the 20-minute mark, so he's in the bin for 5 straight to start the second. However, we see a penalty against Gage Thompson of the University of Jamestown for slashing at 1:23. He traded in 2 minutes of the 5-on-3, turned it into a 4-on-4 game, and Justin Metcalf, right place, right time again. Landon Cochran puts in a weak shot. It was rebounded. Metcalf was there, and Metcalf roofs one going up in the top shelf for a 4-on-4 goal at 2:45 of the period, and that made it a 2-0 lead. And then the most action of the game comes in a 19-second period that saw 2 goals and a penalty between 6:02 and 6:21. The first goal was credited to Suzinski, Gage Suzinski of the University of Jamestown, who comes up with a slap shot out of the left circle, just going 1-on-1, a goal that Chad Duran, or rather a shot that Chad Duran saw coming the entire way. Suzinski rams it home at 6:02 to make it 2-1, but just 11 seconds later, Carter Barley comes up with an even strength goal. Barley getting helpers on that from Landon Cochran and Paul O'Connor, and Barley just scoots one past the near side skate of Tyson Brower to make it 3-1, and then 8 seconds later at 6:21, Barley goes into the box for interference. We'd see a couple more goals into the period. The first going to Jaeger Thiessen, who took a big hit in his own zone, was able to get up and on the same play transitions himself back into the offensive end, grabs a loose puck off the left wall, darts in towards the net, and makes a spinning backhanded shot that beat Tyson Brower 5-hole, all alone for Thiessen at 11:45, and that made it a 4-1 matchup. The final goal, Aiden Potus, a terrific one-time shot for the University of Jamestown, assisted by Gage Thompson and Tyler Chavez-Leach. That came at the 12:57 mark. Left at 4-2, which would be the final score today, because everything else that was left was all penalties, and we saw plenty of roughhousing that went on throughout the remainder of the night. And one of the issues that comes up, in just a little analysis here for the University of Jamestown, the Jamestown 2 goals, and they're looking at a neutral zone trap from Minot State that they came out with to start. But what the Jamestown College or University of Jamestown Jimmies found out is that against Minot State, the 4-on-4 is as effective as the neutral zone trap. We had 2 shifts, or rather 2 2-minute periods of 4-on-4 skating in the third period, and University of Jamestown mounted very little offense against it. One big play at the end of the night that's worth mentioning as well. You love it when a selfless play is made. Jamestown is on the back end of a penalty kill after Popoff took a penalty. Jordan Popoff takes a penalty for Jamestown at 16:08 on a tripping call, but UJ comes up with a deflected puck and turns it into a 2-on-1 shorthanded odd man rush. They're coming up the ice, and a crossing pass that was coming back right into the heart of the slot saw Braden Paluk go down and knock a puck away. He goes down, slides across the ice, takes one off the body. Just a freshman out of Toulon, Manitoba. It was good to see him make that kind of play, and Paluk comes up with a great defensive play at the end of the game to help Minot State preserve the 2-goal lead, and they end up winning it by a final score of 4-2. Again, Minot State improves to 3 wins, no losses, a draw, and an overtime win, and the University of Jamestown will fall to no wins, 2 losses, 3 draws so far this season. The next game for Minot State is in limbo at this point, and the reason why we say that is because they were scheduled to take on Midland, Nebraska in a 3-game series Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, November 5th, 6th, and 7th, but we're told that as of right now, Midland is hesitant to make the trip due to the coronavirus situation here in North Dakota, and so as of right now, without those games, the next game for Minot State would be back here on Friday, November 13th. How about that? Friday the 13th against the University of Jamestown at 7:30. They would then go on the road to take on the University of Jamestown at 7 o'clock the next night. Just to highlight a couple of things coming up on the schedule, University of Mary home and home for Minot State. That is always a fun matchup. They'll be here Friday, December 4th at 7:30, then down in Bismarck on December 5th at 7 o'clock. And Colorado State comes to town for a 3-game set, assuming we can continue playing into January, on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of January. That'll be Colorado State coming in to take on Minot State. Some of the highlighted matchups coming up on their upcoming schedule. Again, a big thank you to all the Minot State and University of Jamestown fans for viewing today here on Pro Style Productions, PSP. An unfortunate circumstance where the crowd was limited to only 200 spectators today. We know that under normal circumstances there would be many more that would want to be here at Mesa Arena. And again, a big hat off to the city of Minot. This is my first trip to the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena. The last time I was here, I was over in the other rink, which was a very nice rink on its own. But what Minot has put together for the hockey community here is just a fantastic arena to be in and a great place to get some work done. And Minot State got some work done today as well, as they win it by a final score of 4-2 this afternoon. Minot State comes up with the victory to move themselves to their 3rd win of the season. Earlier today, Linton HMB defeats Surrey in high school football. Scott Cattell with that call. Linton HMB knocks off Surrey by a score of 24-6, and that'll do it for a weekend here for PSP. Stay tuned for further broadcast details on the next matchups coming up. For Pro Style Productions, PSP, and for Nick Holberg, Ryan Cunningham saying so long from Mesa Arena.